Oh. Red Bull, whatever it's called. Pure blue shark. No one on. What do you mean? Hello, Brian. Hello. How are you doing? All right. Are you all right? Both. 3 on, 2 up. Come on. Three fingers, 3 thumbs up. Push the like buttons. 1, 2. Yeah, that's you. Listen to me. You can hear me. I can see you, Graham Smith. Evening, Rob. I knew you'd be on. Love you a bit, Rob. Who's this on here? Does anyone know? Names up. Anyone? Guess who it is? Sam Winstall. Evening. Westall, sorry. Brother Hi. Evening. Rob. Graham Smith. Proper English name, that one, Graham Smith. Opinion Glaswegian, what a fantastic lad he is, him. No bother, pal. I'll see you soon. No bother. I'll cut your fucking head off. So first thing they say in Scotland, if you have trouble, cut your fucking head off, you cunt. And in Scotland, if you say to someone in England, you cunt, it means bad. In Scotland, that big cunt's brilliant. That wee cunt's fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. We sing that wee cunt. And it means good in Scotland. It's fucking mad, isn't it? Like languages in different areas mean different things. You call someone a cunt down London, they go, you fucking can't. Fucking kill you, you can't. And then in Scotland, it means good. People in Scotland know what I'm on about. But we dog, D-U-G. That's a dog, D-O-G. Wendy's. That's the windows. But I'll put your Wendy's in. I'll kick your fucking cunt. Yeah, that big jagged thing. That means a piece of like glass that's broken and jaggedy, like that all. And stop your greeting means crying. I'll give you something to greet for in a minute. Let me take my hand off your face. Oops. Yes, Graham. Danny Graham. Can't see the t-shirt. All right.
You know last time when I asked you to say thank you to OG?
I said OG, yeah.
He'd gone off.
I've just been talking to OG.
Yes, so you've got to say he's
I've just been talking about him. There's the t-shirt. Come on. Who was it? Fantastic for years ago. My mate was a professional boxer. He fought for Dave Garside, lightweight, and he went to America. He had 50. He was a world champion kickboxer. He had 15 fights, not one of these pretend ones, a real one. Went to America and won 15 fights in a row. World champion. Very good friends of Ian Freeman, is a good friend of mine. Ian said to my author, he said, because he was doing my book at the time, we talked on the phone Ian a few times. I've been up there, helped him with Ernie and stuff from Sunderland. He was the real deal. You know, you get these clowns pretending the world champions and this champion, I'm that champion. This was the real. He was on the fucking telly. He went right around the world and won. The world heavyweight champion of the world with the belt, with all the cameras there and all the proof in the world. You know, this bullshit fucking pretending to be the champion, the real champion. You know, these bullshits that come on. About 86 fights when he lost 3, and then you look, there's nothing there. It's fucking shit. I've had 434 fights, but you can't see them anywhere. You can't see any fights or anything. Bullshitters. So anyone got it yet? Anyone got it yet? There he is there, look. You can't get him. Let me have a look. Anyone there? Got it like Quaver. Hello, love. You okay? Thank you for coming on. Dialing the lights. Are you up? I'm Ken. Do you know Ken? Ken Jimmy. Do you know Ken? Oh, you do. Do you Ken? Do you Ken? That means you're okay in Scotland. Do you Ken? I Ken okay. No bother. Shut up, you wee bam. Wee bam pot. That means you're fucking gloopy. Here's another one. Look, no one in England will know what this means. You drive me to the fucking Bambi cane. That means the nut house. You drive my mom says it, my mum. I call her mum, but in Scotland it's my mom. My mom says, you're driving me around the fucking Bambi cane, you. That means the nut house. I'll give you something Greek for in a minute, son. Do you want me to take you? And in Scotland it's mad. You used to get good ivy with belts and everything. Fucking still do. Don't have me come up them fucking stairs, I'm telling you. If I come up them stairs, woe betide you. That's another one. Woe betide you. That's my mum's favourite. When she says that, do you remember when you're a kid and you're out and you're cheeky in the house and you go, you'll be cheeky. If you get asked for a biscuit, take one. What?
Carl Walker's exposed and he's exposed on there.
Yeah.
So he said, tell me you and that's Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, well done, Carl. Manny Pacquiao. Fucking hell, you don't even know Manny Pacquiao, mind you. I like him, but I always pick Mayweather. When Mark come here, we had the telly upstairs working, and we put it in the room upstairs. Don't know why it wouldn't work in the downstairs. So we came and he had his missus and that. And me and Bobby sat and we watched it, and we had I picked Mayweather every time because Pacquiao was fantastic. Told you, oh, he's not standing still fighting. I said, Mark, it's a game of fucking chess. It's not a fucking fight in the street. It's like the fights what we do in the street. It's a game of chess in the ring, and there's no such thing as saying you have to stand still. You can do it. You can, like Floyd Mayweather, like I say, he jumps all over. If you're elusive, which means you can't, you move. I was very good. That's why I haven't got my face smashed to pieces. Because I never hardly got caught. It was very good with McMahon. Once I landed my shots, it was all over. But if you're very elusive, Anthony Lunn, check Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry. Fucking hell, Chuck Berry. I tell you what, you've been concussed. Exposed. Manny Pacquiao, it is. Give that man a cigar. Johnny Jump. Hello. I'll just go through these guys. Me day, fella, laughs and tries to speak Glaswegian. If you can't, fuck you. It's in Scotland. It's Glasgow. We're from Bamford Bridge. Court Bridge is where the better men. Everyone's fucking scared. The big crackers in Court Bridge. Courtbreg, Lanarkshire. It's from. So that's where my family's from. But the McGiverins are my family. They're one of the biggest families there in Courtbreg. No bother, son. Hi. Oh, that's a sin. No, if you like, you want to go to the park or something, you've got no money in your hand, you'll go, I'll give that win a few pounds. That's a sin. Leave him alone. And then the kids are cheeky, will go, you wee cheeky monkey. You cheeky wee monkey, you. That's what they say. Oh, my aunties used to do it all the time. You know, the sayings come. And then they've got a thing up there. What's it called? Fucking. It's like Holyfield Hospital. I can't remember the name of it. Fucking hell, watched every one of them about 20 times. Still game. It's absolutely fucking hilarious. But if you're not from that area, you're doing my melting. Melt means your head, like your brain. You're doing my fucking melting. So it's all different language. Yeah, all different sayings in Glasgow from Edinburgh, especially because they're posher and over in the Highlands are posh. They're posh compared to like Glasgow. And everyone in Scotland's a comedian. Everybody's hilarious. Everyone's funny. They're all comedy. Christopher Walken. Christopher Walker. Mike Tyson. No, it's Manny Pacquiao. I like Mike Tyson. That. Just hit him on the chin. Yeah, great fighter, but he's another one who'll struggle with cracking stuff, won't he? He's another one who's one of the most top fighters. Most of these people are the best at their game. You get loads of people the best at street fighting, the best at whatever. End up going on drugs because like they've done that much with their hands and they've been the best fighters. I mean, there's nothing else to prove. You beat everyone you fought. You beat all the top fighters. You've been all over the place. You're in all these books and magazines and stuff like that, and then you didn't turn to drugs because there's fuck all else to do. And you go on the drugs, and then you just like fucking fall off. You want to get back, but well, I'm back anyway now. But I've been off the drugs 4 years in September the 20th or 21st. It was. I've got it written down on a piece of paper. But I used to count the days. I'm counting now. But 4 years coming up. But when I was at that arsehole, the fake fucking rat face, I can get you £180 an eighth and all that. And Emma went to Crick, said, have you been fucking, she never swashed, she never does. She said, you been for real? Brian's, don't forget to push the like button. Brian's an ex-addict. You're trying to get him back on the coke. I said, no, that's for his own demands. That's so I can sit with him in the house and take it. And he said, no, you don't have to live like a monk. I said, I'm not living like a monk. I'm living like a proper human being now. I've had 20 odd years on and off fucking drugs. I don't want any more drugs. And he kept trying to insist, just have a little go. Do you want a knee? I'll get you a knee. Do you want this? I went, no, I don't want any drugs whatsoever. The only drugs I take is the ones that I need to fight my hands. I tell you what, I've run out of meds. And I phoned up and the stupid fucking doctor supposed to give me them on Friday. And he's supposed to sign the paper for them, because it's a prescription. And he hasn't signed it. So then I went yesterday and they went, if you wait an hour or so, they'll come on a bike straight away. Never turned up. So she phoned up yesterday again. They went, what do you have to do? They'll get it in the morning. She phoned up again today. She said, they haven't come. They said, oh, what's happened? The doctors forgot to sign the form for you to get your medication. And else, then we phoned 101. 101 or whatever it's called, the hospital one. They went, oh, we can't give you it because it's and one where the doctor has to sign for it. So he said, we're not allowed to give you it because it is a prescription. It's not a repeat one, that was it. So I have to order it, you know what I mean? So it's kind of ridiculous. So I've had no painkillers now for 4 days. So I won't get none until Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll be over a week with no painkillers. Well, I've got a few Nurofen, but I don't like taking them because they fuck your liver up. It's really, really harsh. If you ever take Nurofen, don't ever take them on an empty stomach. They'll absolutely destroy your liver. They can destroy your liver, and don't take anything. Make sure you've eaten food before you take them, because they're really bad, really toxic. They're really toxic. Never take more than 2 at a time. If you're taking like 6s and 4s night, they're really dangerous. Paracetamol the same. My mate Evo, was it Evo? I think it was. He took an aspirin, and it went in his throat, and it burnt a hole through his esophagus, which is where you breathe through. And he went to the hospital, and it burnt a big hole right through his fucking thing. So that's what Bruce Lee died of, an asprin. So they said he was allergic to them. Whether it was true or not, I don't know. But that's Maria Howarth. How are you doing, Maria? You might be in the women's prison, and I'll be in the men's on the other side of the wave out the window. Yeah. None of us will get jailed when you're up. Fucking cranky is. Jimmy Cranky, any him and his middle season, fucking Jimmy Cranky. Yeah. So in Scotland, you go there and you get like Hogmanay, and you all go for a drink on the night. If you don't have a drink, I don't drink, saying I'm going, am I not fucking good enough to have a drink, mate? You're turning me down. And you have to fucking, you nearly have the fight with them over a fucking drink. You're not good enough to sit here and drink with me. And especially the drunk one. See you, son. I see you. I'm telling you, get them everywhere, even English. No, the minging drunk, and you can do it. Oh, fucking, he's Tommy Johnson or something. He's Andy. Oh, he's that fucking lunatic from Glasgow. Singing in Red Card, they all came down because the Scottish fans are the best fans in the world. Don't care what anyone says. They are the best fans. When they went to England, there's probably 2-1 English, and fucking they're in England. Took the goalpost in 1979, pulled all the posts down, and took all the whole of Wembley. And it weren't the greatest football team, but they were the best fans and the best singers, the matches and that. But when I used to go to the matches, we used to get on with the Welsh, and we used to get on. I'll try and fix this. We used to get on with the Welsh. We used to get on with the thing about this English when they had to come on the coach. They had to get a fucking English. Had to get an escort off the place from the train station. From train station to the fucking Glasgow Hampden Park, and I watched the Scottish were playing they got on with the Irish. We got on brilliant with the Irish. All the Irish would just shake hands with us and everything, and walking down the street, Glasgow, and that was great. But they had to get escorts. The English everywhere they went, they fucking get escorts. But they're all right everyone. So Australia coming, they had all the Scottish people had kangaroos on a like hanging the kangaroo, just a joke type of thing. And we won 2-1 against them. But the great thing in Scotland, they play the bands and you're in the field, you can feel that electrifying where all the pipes are going. It's marvellous. And then the English ones, fucking, that's the most boring tune in fucking history. It is. They need to change that tune now. You've got a different king writing your theme tune. What? Celtic. My family, I don't support Celtic, but that's my family. They're all Catholics. Well, it doesn't matter if fuck if somebody's Pakistani, Indian, Muslim, Sikh, Hindu, fucking put your recipes to trees. No matter what nationality you are, no matter what you're brought up with, it's just to be nice to each other, be polite and courteous. It doesn't matter if he's whatever and he's this and he's German, she's Dutch and he's that. It doesn't matter. We're all brothers and sisters in this world. We're all brought into the world. The Creator created us all in His image. So we're all brothers and sisters. All that shit. I don't like that and I don't like it. It's full of shit. So you get these people, you get like Catholic priests years ago, we're all raping the kids. So fucking, you get Protestant ones doing the same. So it doesn't mean you see you're a great person because you go to church. You get loads of them. I've been to church with them. Churches raping. You can see the pure fucking hypocrites. Some of them, they're all talking about each other. And I thought it's supposed to be fucking Christians. Full of shit. And the tripling is back. Oh, fucking hell. And a tripling, yeah. I know. I used to have a tripling years ago. They were good for like muscles, but they made me a bit groggy then. There's my trazepine and a tripling. I used to get that before from me when I was bad before. before he got the operation. They were telling me all that time, my neck was spondylosis, 15 fucking years misdiagnosed, and tell me this, and the tricep was a tear in my tricep. And when I got nicked, I got 3 months on remand. So I got to hospital. So I went to the hospital about 6 months later. It was starting to hurt again. They went, "Oh, you've snapped. You've got 3 triceps. That's why it's called tri. 1, 2, 3. Tri means 1, 2, 3. So 3 tricep muscles in your arm. I'd snapped 2 of them, benching a really heavy weight. And by the time I went to the surgeon, said, "Oh, you should have been in. We could only fix that. You've only got a time limit of about 2 weeks because it starts turning to jelly." So my arm was snapped for 15 fucking years. I mean, my arm was snapped, for 6 months before they even diagnosed me properly. So fucking useless at North Tees Hospital. I think you better go in the fucking jungle and go to a witch doctor. You get more fucking men. I'll go head to tails in the house with them. Some of them are useless. Yeah, Cockerill is Irish Celtic. Furious Travellers at Cockridge, Irish Celtic. Yeah, that's where I was born. I was born in St. That fucking idiot. You know, the fake author. He wanted to be Paul Sykes. He went, "I'll play the part where he bums me in the cell." Then he wanted to be Lee Henry, and the lads you don't know from our way. He used to be up Hemlington Cove, you know. He idolised him, run about all after him. Then he wanted to be Graham Seed. Graham Seed's one of our church leaders, a great man. He was dying. He used to be on gear and drink and everything. He was dying. He was in the hospital. So a lot of Christians prayed for him, and he come back to life. Prayed for him. He was on his last legs, you know. So they come back to life. And he come back to life, changed his life, and started helping people all over the place. And he was not in love with him. I don't know if he was in love with him, but he followed him as all over. Then he has to have someone to follow, like, and it was Lee Paul Duffy. Then it was fucking Paul Sykes won it. He was after him for ages. And then now he's saying he was born in Coatbridge, St. Alexander's Hospital. That's where I was born. Now, I know everything about Coatbridge because I've been, obviously, over the years, I've been loads of times. There's a place there called The Fountain, and it's a little fountain cafe. My mum used to work there, and he knew naught about it. So when I was asking the questions on the thing the other night, he knew fuck all about Coatbridge, and you know about the old, what was there and everything. So what happened, my family are all Scottish and Irish, so they came from Ireland, the Ferns. That was my great-great-grandma. My great-great-great-granddad was 6'4", and he used to fight for money. And that's where they say I get my height and size, because all the others are only 5'7", 5'8". All my family, no one's big, only me. But my great-great-great-granddad used to be a captain here. He was a sea captain of his own ship, and he used to go all over to bring coal back and stuff like that all over the place. And they came from, like I say, Ireland, and they went to Scotland to work on the shipyard. You're coming up the Clyde. You don't think I've just come up the Clyde in a banana boat, and that's another Clyde River up there. So my granddad used to be a riveter in the shipyards. He used to build brilliant ships in Scotland, Coatbridge up that way, and then it all fell to pieces over the years, you know. And so then they left from there in the late 70s, come to Hartlepool and come to Middlesbrough and come to Redcar, because Seal Sands is a big, massive industrial place in Hartlepool where they built the power station, and they actually built oil rigs. So all the Scottish come down, like riggers, and then ones are walking fucking in the air on the top of when they build the steel buildings and all that. So they come down, and they all lived in Scotland. They all come from Scotland, most of them, and a lot of them stayed because they got jobs where they were working 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So they ended up staying at Redcar. So Redcar was the best place to go out in the night because everyone was working. When I went there, like when I went to the door when I was about 9, I was 20-year-old. The door was open there. It was open like a Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it was chock-a-block. There'd be like 200-300 people in the queue outside, and there was, I think it was 6 nightclubs there. That was more than the whole of Teesside. Redcar had more nightclubs than the whole of Teesside, and it was a booming town. Gisborne was another one booming, and there was pubs everywhere because of the shows and that, because they were like a bit like Blackpool, but a smaller version. But all the Scottish stayed there. Now in Scotland, a poke means a little bag, but down here it can mean a different thing. So my mate is, I can't remember his mum, George Fawcett's mum, had Ellie Fawcett and Frankie. Frankie's passed away. Now my mate Ian Savage, it's a proper Scottish name. Ian Savage, he came down. He was a Rangers supporter, and his dad said, Can I have a wee poke there, Henny? They called her. She went, you dirty bastard. And she thought she meant something else. But in Scotland, it meant a little bag to put his fucking sandwiches in. Can I have a wee poke there? And she thought he meant in England, it means totally different thing. She started fucking hitting with the rolling pin and trying to, I'll for you, dirty bastard, shouting at him, chased him out of the house, saying, what's going on? What's going on? He just asked me for a poke there. And he explained to his dad what it meant in England. She beat him up with the fucking rolling pin, but all he wanted was a little bag. In Scotland, you go, can I have a wee poke of sweeties or a wee poke of chips? That's how you get your chips. But in Scotland, you get everything's fucking fried Mars bars. You go in and you get fried Mars bar. I'm not joking. Then you get like on a Friday, you get your special supper. So the bands would go around and Coatbridge and different other parts of Glasgow and places like that, and go around. You get your fish and chips at 10 o'clock at night, and you get me a fish supper. That's what it's called in Scotland. And up there, you get bottles of ginger, but not ginger beer. Bottles of ginger, and it's iron brew. Iron brew made by what was it made by? Iron brew made by Bars Iron Brew, I think it was. Yeah, Genders. I can't remember what they said now. Used to come out, and you only were little bottles, but they were great because the bigger bottles you get down in England, and you have so many drinks that go flat, but these don't go flat. But they were great. These little bottles of Iron Brew. Totally different up there from here. Totally mad. Mad as fuck they are. Fucking mental. Honestly, I'm not joking. Fucking loonies. Absolute lunatics. What's happening next door? Oh, I put his fucking house down. What he's fucking kicking it. Fucking the Wayne's being kids and fucking busted the Wayne's fucking ball with a knife, the bastard. I burnt his fucking house down. But so all the man's house was burnt, they were fucking sitting there and all his car and everything, just for besting the ball over the fence. Fucking hell. That's how ruthless they are. And then you see old blokes about 6 shots, 70. I'll cut your fucking head off, you cunt. And they've got big knives and everything. They're fucking reds as cuckoos, honest. They don't give a shit. I think it's all that. And the fields are fighting with the English over the years. I think it's all in them still. They just don't give a shit. How do, Johnny? Hangman, hello, son. That's Sam Weston, Maria, Portsmouth. Now, I live in Portsmouth. Have I been in Portsmouth? I think I've been in Portsmouth. Is Portsmouth the one where the army base is, with the Marines? Where it's like an island, isn't it? It's not an actual place. You can go over on like roads in it all over. Is that Portsmouth? I stayed there for a week once if it's the right place. It's got like an army base in the front. I think it's the Marines, and then you can get the boat to go to the jails and that from there. That Portsmouth is in it, I think. Sure, it's Portsmouth now. There's a jail there as well, if I'm right. In Portsmouth, big jail. What they've done is they put the SAS in, and then there's locked all the jail, and you took 5 minutes to get over the wall and get in the prison, get back out. That's how good the SAS were. He had a filling in his mouth, pulled the filling out, stuck it on chewing gum, put it out, and make the lights go or something. He'd done something with the filling in his mouth, and it popped the fucking. The lights went off, and then he turned them back on. And really clever hand. That's the trained hand. The fucking espionage, MI5, fucking shite. 007. Bond 007. License to thrill. If you travel Bars Iron Brew, that's it, Parkhead. That's where I lived. Parkhead. Parkhead. Don't call it Parkhead, they call it Parkhead. Parkhead. That's Glasgow way. Parkhead, Greenock. I lived at Greenock. I lived where's the other fucking one? It's mad. Govan. I lived in Govan. That is fucking rough. Govan. I lived there with my mum when I was a kid. I lived I don't know if you've heard this one, Quaver. Blair Gowrie. My mom went there because my dad was on the run from the police, and they got a caravan right up in the Highlands. It is called Blair Gowrie, and what they used to do then days, they'd go tatey picking for weeks and weeks and make money off taties and stuff and live off the taties. And she lived in a caravan for 6 weeks with me as a kid. I was only a baby. I was only about 3 or 4 months old. I don't remember it, but she tells me all the stories where we've been. Govan was bad, and then the worst was the Gorbals. That was fucking rough. That was the roughest place in Europe for 100 years or something. More killings, more murders in there than anywhere. Lethal. Not big people. They just fucking stab you, kill you. Don't give a fuck. Just don't give a shit. Totally different game up there than it is down here. No matter how fucking big you are, you could be fucking 10 Mike Tyson, you still get killed. You know, them fucking 16, 17-year-olds just stab you up. They don't give a shit. About a in menthol. Yeah. Yeah, Deal's closed down. Yes, so it is there, Portsmouth. Yeah, am I right about the army base? So it was the Marines, I think. And then when I was there, it was a big thing on them. But actually, it was the Marines on the front, and then you go into the water after that. But it was only a small place, quite a few. I lived in a guest house. I was there about 10 days. Yeah, it wasn't a big place. It was only small, but it was like I'm sure it was an island. I'm sure you had to go. Well, you had to go around all these different roads to fucking get to it, like Spaghetti Junction. Blue Gody. Is that how you say it? Is it Blair Gody? Blow Gody. Blair. Yeah. That's where we stayed. Yeah, she was on the run with me, my dad. Lovely places. My auntie lived in Inverness. She lived in an army base there because her husband, Steve Austin, was called. Remember the Bionic Man? Exact same name as that, Steve Austin. And he lived there. That wasn't Steve, was it? Steve. Anyway, he worked on the ship, and he was not a captain. What was he? A chief. He was a chief. He was in the American Navy. He was the chief. Took like fucking 5,000 fucking paid 15. I don't know, 1,500 people or something like that. And he was second in command on there for years. And they had an army base where you could play bowls and all that stuff. I never ever went, but my mum used to go. She used to get the ferry across. Where was that? She went on the ferry. I think she got the ferry across to it to get to it. But my aunties and that still living there. Court Bridge. She's lived there all her life. My auntie Margaret. She lived there all her life. And Auntie Rena was beautiful. My Auntie Rena used to go to the Glasgow halls. Her and James Boyer, my uncle. Don't forget, push the like buttons, guys. And they used to do rock and roll dancing. And my Auntie Rena was beautiful. My mum was beautiful as well when she was young. She was like Elizabeth Taylor. But they're all little, my mum's family. All right, Hen. You leave that real ass alone, you. All that stuff. You get all that shit if you don't. Of your aunties and you don't know if you fucking. You leave that real ass alone. I'm telling you. That's what you get. You better treat her right, you. All right, Hen. Aye. And there's Isa. Oh, still game. That was my Auntie Rena, and she fucking knew everything you were going. Aye, where are you going? Aye, what me think now? It's not your birthday. It's not your. I know you're going to your Tams. It says birthday today, and you'll be taking them out tonight, and you'll be going down there, and you'll be getting the kebab, and you'll be going, fucking hell, she's like the Oracle, and that's what Isa's like off still game. She knows every fucking thing. People go in the corner shop. You're buying a card. It's not Johnny's birthday. It's not Tommy's. It's not any. She said, you can't buy her one. That lassie, you see. She knows everything. You've got to watch. It's called Still Game, guys. It's fucking brilliant. It's like Only Fools and Horses, but it's better. It's really funny. You've seen them fiddling electric and all that, and put the pins in the meters and everything. It's fucking hilarious. It's just down to life, real life. When you're off council stage and that, it's just so funny to watch. You look at it, I've done that before. It's fucking brilliant. 89 on. Why aren't you pushing the like buttons? So we now know Johnny is which laugh out loud good. God bless. Borders which Jonathan Carlin. Yes, so you know the thing now. Opinion God's region. He knows everything. He knows what I'm talking. I start talking to Scottish and all the others with you. What the fuck are they on about? Hangman just calling. Oh, you're good. Jonathan Carlin's a good lad. Sam Westfield, you all right, son? Freedom. You'll need to take our lives. I'm going to take my life. So listen, you fucking mug. Forgot to tell you. You wanted your wish to come true. I couldn't do it when I was in the wheelchair. So where's this fight we're going to have? Where you want to arrange me to come meet you? Fucking little scruffy cunt. Be given at that. The big lad when I was in a wheelchair, paralysed, and when I was in hospital bed for fucking a year, paralysed, from the neck fucking down, couldn't move. Now we'll meet you anyway. When you bring as many people as you want, I'll come on my own. There's Steve Mac. I know Steve Mac. So somebody put there's a bit where he's called me a fucking spack and a retard and all these things. There's 120 commenters, not one comment sticking up for him. They're all saying, what a fucking asshole you are. And about 10 people have said, you better hope that Brian doesn't get better. Well, I am getting better. So where do you want to meet me, you? Divvy cunt. Still game, yeah, it's brilliant. Methadone Mick. Methadone Mick. Your nana was like that. Yeah. My ma. Where's my ma? Everyone's doing. Where's my dad? Yeah, you get full, you get a good ag. They're not fucking only out that big, your aunties and stuff. You get a good fucking ag. I'm 6'3" and 24 stone. You're fucking telling you, oh, mum, if I go in the house and if I do out wrong, a police would be on. It's the West thing in Scotland. It's a police. A fucking police are at the door again with you, showing the fucking whole street. Everyone getting that fucking house, not house. Get that fucking house. I'll give you something to greet for in a minute, and you fucking shit yourself. Or you go in the house and you'd be like, you go to somebody's house and they'll go, "Want a biscuit?" And you get one. You think, "Well, I'm down for another biscuit." But you can't ask for it. And then somebody will go, "Do you want the biscuit, son?" You want to go say yes, and your mum will go. She'll look at you like radar eyes, and you fucking dare ask. And then you'd look away and she went, say like you did something wrong. The woman will go to the toilet or something, your auntie or something. And your mum will go, "Wait, I'll get you home. Just fucking wait, I'll get you home." That was the worst thing in the world. You go, "Oh, they're going to fucking kill me when I get in the house." And you would shit yourself going all the way home like that to get home. And then they used to do this. They did it in England. My mom used to do it. My nana did. And she called me Nana, my mom. And she'd go like that. You'd have a little bit of muck on your face. I'll go, "I get a fucking hanky out with a big blow in the nose on, go." And start wiping your face with a fucking hanky. Spit all over your face. No, there's fucking COVID's about. Yeah, that looked better, son. Yeah, you just could be having 10,000 diseases spitting onto it. All the bogies all over it, which you blow the nose with. Then you quite clean your face with a tissue. Puts in a pocket, been in the pocket for fucking 4 weeks or something. Fucking hilarious they are, I'm telling you. Wipe your feet. That's another one. You've got to wipe your feet. You come in, wipe your feet, you go out. Fucking get them shoes off when you come in that door. Your big midden. Midden means there's that many things to be here all for the week telling you. Sam, Matt, Steve Mac, James Jameson, Penis Pants laughing. There's quite a few Scots on here, though. Fucking loads of them. Watchdogs Johnny. What was Watchdogs Johnny? I'm sure there's one something called Watchdogs Johnny on here tonight. Naveed. Oh, Naveed. He's funny. So yeah, Pakistani lad Naveed. Fucking hell, yeah. On the Tam, the greedy bastard. He's one of these misers, like boils like that. Won't pay for a fucking thing. "Oh, I've lost my card. Oh, I don't believe Shelley's put the wrong trousers on me. How can she put your trousers on you, you fucking idiot?" Me and Bobby are paying for all the fucking petrol money and the food and the bills, the train fares and everything. Never once paid. He only bought one meal, £6 when I saved him. I went in and was a Mackenzie friends for him. I've been a care worker. I've been a care worker for a long time, so I've got my badge and everything. So I went in as a Mackenzie friend. Oh, that's what he's doing. He's pretending. So when I was telling you he's going to be all these people, he's trying to be me now. So he's pretending he was in Coatbridge, which is Lanarkshire, and he didn't move down here. He was there. So he was born in fucking Middlesbrough. In Berry Hills, I think it was. Was it Berry Hills? Berry Hills or Brambles? No, Berry Hills. I think he was born in Berry Hills. His dad was born in Scotland. His dad's from Glasgow. He went to Glasgow. He went to Glasgow and he lasted 3 days. The fucking Scottish kids kicked him out. Get the fuck back, you daft little cunt. Chased him out of town. Never went back to Scotland. Went up there. I think he was about 16 when he went up. And he lasted fucking 3 days. None of his guff. None of your guff. Moose loose about this hoose. Remember that old woman? She used to be Scottish. She used to do the mop thing. Yeah, I remember that old woman. Remember she had the white hair. She used to do the flash adverts. 91 on, 47 thumbs up. Come on, what are you doing? I wasn't in Foster for fuck all, you know. Didn't get to be the number one in Foster in the country for fucking for nothing, you know. Don't close out the door. Don't answer it. He used to knock on the door and say, "Open the door. Come on, stop fucking about." I'd be off my fucking head, running out of ecstasy or something. I'll go, "Look, do me a deal. If you shot me 20 X's out the window, I won't kick the door in and I'll just go." And then shut the So what they do is they fucking be no one in next minute. It'd be like Blackpool Illuminations, fucking lights would burn everywhere. All right, bro, I've only got 18. Is that all right? And throw them out the window. Fucking half the time they'll mad fucking eat. But yeah, don't actually just kick the fucking in. I never tax any good people. I only tax bad ones. You know, gobshite saying like him, he can't do this and he can't do that. He used to call me Scotch Bride. I was about 20 I was because I'm still at my accent because I've been down here since I was a kid, but I lived with me. My nana was like my mom, and all of them, my mum's Scottish. They've all got the same accent, say. So all my aunties, uncles, nephews, cousins were all Scottish. So I'm in that environment. I was never in it. Like, I was only at English environment when I was at school. So I had to adapt to speak a bit like this to blend in with people, you know what I mean? Because you couldn't understand. Gives that went tuna. Gives a tell of tuna. What the fuck's he on about? She used to call me Scotch Bride when I had a fight with Lee Duffy. I was trying to fight with the fucking bloke called Scotch Bride from Redcar. He just fucking ragged me around like a ragdoll and threw me all over fucking the street. He said, it's the strongest and hardest man I've ever fought in fucking life. He said, I couldn't knock him out. Tried every fucking, he couldn't do it. Couldn't beat him. He said, fuck that, he said. He went to the pub on the night and told all that. He told Carol Edwards, his partner, if she's on here tonight, Carol will tell you. He was like, Giant, yes, that's throwing me around. He said, I just couldn't do it. Carol, he said, come on. Because usually you just banging knocked him out. Carol said, I can't beat him. I just can't beat him. Yeah, Moofy, Bishop Walton was a good night. And was you and Emma, Jamie well, knacked. Jamie well, knacked it up. Yeah, he did knack it up. What we did, we went to, there were lovely people in Scotland. A lot of travellers, a lot of tough lads up there. And we went, and what it was a snooker hall. So they wanted us just to go because it was like going in schools and stuff. And they heard me on the radio when I was on the BBC radio for BBC Tees. Thank you, Watchdog. Thank you very much there, mate. You're a legend. So Emma phoned up and everything, and he phoned up, and we said, oh, well, I think it held about 200 people. So I sold the tickets in 4 hours. Every ticket was sold in 4 hours. So he said, oh, what's the money? He said, we've sold all the tickets. Can you come up such and such? He went, oh, yeah. He said, he's only sold them. He said, we had Jimmy White on. It took him 6 weeks to sell that many. He said, you've sold them in 4 hours. So anyway, he goes up there, and it was fucking chocolate outside. It was about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I think it was 7 o'clock I got there. It's supposed to be on at 8. I got there for 7, but it was about 100 people outside waiting because they couldn't get tickets. And he went, oh, fuck them. I went, what do you mean, fuck them? Went, oh, you're not getting paid anymore. I said, so what? The fucking kids want the pictures of me, like 14, 15-year-old little kids and everything. Mums and dads and I want to meet the tax man. I went, I'm not fucking going there. So I stood. He was raging because I made him stand over an hour downstairs, me, Bobby, and that. And then we was going, the fans have come to see him. They want to fucking see him. I can't help it if they haven't got a ticket. I said, fucking hell, I can't walk away and leave all these kids when fucking, if they come to see me and I'm making their night, I give them a picture. He's fucking horrible. It's always about money with him. Always money. They'll get pictures talking, fucking lads want to square off with me and all that. And sometimes I get 3 pictures of one kid, and what didn't bother me when I go everywhere I go, I always give kids the pictures and that. It took what's 5 minutes of your fucking life to make somebody happy. So we stood there, we were on the front, and then there was people going by, even the police went by, oh, right, big fella. Leave the police away, that was up there, it was great. Anyway, we goes in. So we get in the place, and there was the pool competition on the other side. There was pool and snooker. So obviously they cleaned it all out and they put all the chairs in. So there was like two. It was packed with the people, and he's there, and he said, "Well, I'll do the mic for you and all that." And I'm sat there. So he's going, "Hello, everybody." You know, bear in mind this: he'd been in here, and then he went in the other room there, the kitchen, and he got a daisy pan and crushed it up and stiffed the fucking. I've never seen one crush a daisy pan up. What are you doing? You fucking look, what that fucking bird? He said, I went, yeah, because they're not for sniffing. You take him, you fucking idiot, to come down. So he's on all these fucking diazepams and fucking pharmaceutical fucking heroin, what do you call that, fucking Subutex. And I don't be taking that shite, man. You fucking kill yourself. So anyway, he goes up there, and we're in there, and he's going on, he's off his tits. So he's drank a bottle of vodka in my house. He's got there, and he got a bottle of Bacardi off the man. He paid for the money for it, but he brought a full bottle and made half a pint of Bacardi and drank it in one go. Oh, fucking hell. So he's gone on stage and he's got a pair of not being disrespectful, I go to Primark and get stuff out there just to sit in the house now, but you wouldn't go to a fucking do with them on. He's got a pair of fucking, I think it must have been his sons, because of that, we don't know Robinson Crusoe with his trousers, right, with his fucking legs, he's on a desert island. So he's got these cheap pound fucking trainees on, with these tracky bottoms, were all baggy, the ass, all his ass was hanging out, the ass was too big for him, and his belly's all pot belly's hanging out, and he stood there on stage, but they're up there, up his knees, not the knees, halfway up his legs, and I'm looking at the fucking state of him, and he's going, my name's Jamie Daniel, and I'm going to tell you, Brian doesn't why. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, mate. I'm sat down here, and I'm like, this going to myself. He's doing me fucking head in, or he's doing me that with him. He's going, Brian. He can't even say the word. Brian's going, Brian doesn't why. And people going, sit down, you fucking idiot. So this lad gets up and comes over. He was Davo's, my mate from Durham's, the big bald lad. And he talked to me, and another one comes, you fucking drag him down the stairs and give him a good eye. He's fucking embarrassing you, mate. So I'm stood there, and I'm immaculate, as you know. I've always wearing my tracksuit stuff, but I was immaculate in the place, and Bobby was, and Emma was beautiful and that. So we stood there, and then our little church lady, Tony Granger's there, she's going on the mic, and he's going, do you know such and such? They went, no. Do you know such? She said, listen, we've come to see, we paid, I think it was £4 a ticket, we've come to pay, we paid to see Brian. We haven't come to see you. I'm just trying to let you build him up. He said, we've known him for 20 odd years, we've known him before you. We went to school with him. He said, but these other ones coming, 12 of them, they're all from Attica. They were all Jamie's friends, were all about 38-year-old, 36 days. So we all know he's a fucking legend because we live in the same town as him. We don't need you to tell us. We don't even fucking know who you are. He's going, give Brian the mic. And they're going, we want Brian. They're all doing all the fucking tables. It was fucking chaos on us. So I said, give the fucking mic for fuck's sake. They're going to kick off. So I grabbed the mic off him. But yeah. So I'm going, yeah, what it is there, guys. Blah, blah, blah. And I went on about war in Scotland. I come down and I got into the doors and I got into fight and stuff. And he just grabbed the fucking mic off me again. He went, I've never been so insulted in all my life. And you're very, very horrible people. I said, they've just paid us the fucking ticket money, you fucking divvy. Anyway, I swear to God, the people, and then he went on, does anyone know Paul Sykes and them that were going to kill him? Because one of the kids' dads, or one of the people in the crowd, he tried to rape my fucking son and Durham, that dirty bastard. You fucking dirty penis. Anyway, because that might have took it off him, sat him down. So he went and sat near old Bobby. So he had a, you know, you get tablets, you go to the doctor, you get tablets, you get like a little brown bottle, don't you? Like say like aspirin, and just for talking sake. He tipped them out at my house and put diazepam in them. So he sat there in the crowd, mortal drunk, and he's doing that, drinking the diazepam out of the bottle, maybe like 4 or 5 at a time. Or he had two full half pints of Bacardi, and he drank a bottle of vodka in my house. And he'd had about 20, 30, when he first come to my house, he had 33 diazepam. When he went home, he had none. He had 33 diazepam in one night. I've never seen anything like it in my fucking life. So it just shows you how toxicity his body weight must be. Because if I had 2 in the hospital, I fell asleep in about 5 minutes because my spasms were terrible on my side. So they gave me the diazepam because my side was killing me. And these were 2.5 mil, these were 5 mil he was on. And he fucking, I say. And so anyway, we're in the crowd and we're talking, we're laughing, everyone's getting on. He sat there fucking raging. So he falls asleep like that. So the Charlie texted him, going, what's going on with him? Oh, please tell me he's never done it again. I went, I didn't know, say, because Emma's got the phone and I'm telling the story. And they're going, remember this one, Brian? Yeah, of course I did, son. You're all right. All right, big fella. I was in Durham with you, and I was, come on, get a picture. And I'm getting a picture with people. And it was great because everyone was getting on. We're all having a laugh. And I talked to a couple of kids who were getting in trouble. I said, I want to wear you. So at the end, the mum and dad said, we have a little word with them. I talked to them, keep out of trouble and stuff. And being nice. And what I'd done, I went around every single person in there, shook their hand for coming and thanked every single person. Got pictures. At the end, there's about 40, 50 people this side and 40, 50 there. I went around, got pictures of everyone for them. And I shook all their hands, I shook all the doormen, thanked all the doormen for having a great night. Thanks for having me. I went and thanked the manager, and he said afterwards, he put a big post, he said, Brian was marvellous. He said, he come early, there was about 100 people outside. He stood with every single person until everyone got a picture took. He then came upstairs. He stayed longer than he should have. I did about 2 hours speech, and should only been there an hour. And then I stayed another hour with them on. I had a few drinks with them. I had about 2 or 3 Bacardis, having a laugh with them. And then I went and thanked all the bar staff, all the glass collectors and the cleaners and everyone in the pub. He said, what a gentleman he is. He said, every single person loved him to bits. They were all cuddling me when I was going and everything. It was just great night. But he ruined it. Drew Nice and all them lovely lads we met up there. And loved the people. And the doorman was from Middlesbrough. He said, Brian, I'm so sorry about that fucking arsehole. He said, do you want me to just throw him down the fucking stairs? Because he was mortal drunk. So I went and got the wages off the man. And he went, you sure that's enough? I went, yeah, I'm over the moon. Don't worry about that. And you should have charged double next time. We'll give you more. So I said, oh, thanks very much. He said, no, it's been the best. He said, I've took more money tonight than I've took for ages. He said, been brilliant. He said, I thought it would have been a lot more money to get you. He said, you sold yourself cheap. I said, well, it was just the first one anyway, mate. I said, so it was nice to get my feet under the table again. So I was a little bit nervous. I said, tell you the truth, but the crowd and you and all the people, they were fantastic people. So it was good. I'm really, really got to apologise on behalf of that idiot. So our church leader, Tony Grange, had to grab him and put him on the other side and sit him down. And he got up and he fell into a woman who was only about 5'2" and grabbed her and mauled her, not deliberately. He grabbed her and mauled her all down the chest. And he got up again, grabbed her again. But the lad who was with her, he was about 5'4". He went, you touch my fucking wife and I'll knock you out, you daft little cunt. And I said, sorry, son, I really apologise. He's fucking give this lady a drink and this gentleman another drink. So they give him another drink. But he spilled all the drinks and everything. He was sat there in the crowd doing that, drinking the daisies. So people started taking pictures of them all. You know it yourself, guys. Everyone's got phones. So it went viral all over. Phones went everywhere sending messages. So people were drawing like cocks on the phone, or like dickhead on it, and condoms on his head and all sorts. They wanted to shave his eyelids and shave his hair off and all that. No, I don't do that. I wouldn't like that to happen to anyone because it's not nice. So I said, no, I don't do that. That's being him a fucking idiot. So anyway, he woke up about, I'd done this speech for 2 hours and he was asleep all the way through my speech. And well, that was a good thing saying that. Was fell asleep. So anyone loved the speech, everyone loved the talk, and everyone loved their interaction. And a big load of travellers coming, about 25, 30 of them. And they were lovely as well. And they were saying, he's a fucking arsehole. He said, he hasn't ruined the night. He said, but if it wasn't for you, Brian, he'd have got kicked the fuck tonight. He'd have got battered. I mean, that wasn't that night. We saved him in pubs all over, me and Bobby from getting beat up. He was always causing trouble everywhere he goes. As soon as he gets them Dazipan and that Subutex, he turns into like from like nightly. We get them done. You get a loveliest man in the world. 2 or 3 pints in the tent. Oh, you fucking, you want to fight? You, I can't fight. And he's one of them. He just can't fight. He's a fucking bullshitter. Never had a fight in his life, but he ruined the night. But his wife texted and said, "Look, I can only apologise. It's not the first time he's done it." He said, "She's just like his dad, a woman abuser. He's abusing me and he's abusing my son." And Emma's got the text. I know you believe me. If he wants to complain on this one, we'll send the text to YouTube and let them see the stuff, because I'm only telling the truth what happened that night. And there's a full thing there about fucking with the people. There was probably 200 paid to get in. There's probably 400 people in the place all in because it was chocker, and he ruined it. But he went, "What? Where's my money? You haven't paid me, Mum or my Leo." Mummy, my law, you hey up, Andy. As you're thinking, Scott, if you bang your elbow, your arm, you go, "Oh, mummy, daddy, you're like, "Ah, yeah," and you rub your hand, go, "Mummy, daddy," and you rub it. It's like a saying in Scotland, doesn't it? Fucking man, like the kiss your thing, they'll go, "I'll kiss it better for you." "Ah, yeah, mummy, daddy," and you bang your fucking elbow, you bang your head, and you start screaming for your mum and dad. That's the thing, they start rubbing that place, saying that name. Yeah, so we went there with him, and then we went to a school. So we went to a school. Me and Bobby went to a school in Thornaby, and a couple of people I knew there used to go to the rave, and that I used to have in the Eclipse in Stockton. Was the first rave club in the North East. We had, it was a 24-hour rave. So we went in the BBC radio for teas, radio teas from Teesside was there. So I told them about the drugs and how bad I got on them, and I don't want the kids to follow drugs like I was on them and stuff, and don't try to be the tax man, get yourself a job and get yourself to college and get yourself to work. And if you get educated, you can always get a job. But if you're not educated, you can't get a job. But the thing is, if you get yourself in trouble and you're in a room full of 100 people, you could have for 10 degrees, and you've been done for burgling or robbing or taking drugs on your record. The thickest person will get the job because he's more trustworthy on paper. And I'm trying to teach the kids in the schools. So it's not just getting the courses. You've got to keep out of trouble with the police. You've got to keep that double whammy. And then when you go and you go to college, you get in the college, you come out and you get a brilliant job. But there's no way you can get a job if you're stealing and getting in trouble, drinking and taking drugs, carrying knives. Because if you're carrying a knife and you do it just to show off, the chances of you getting into a fight and then pulling the knife, you'll stab someone for the sake of 2 seconds. You're doing 25 years in a 12-foot by 12-foot cell. Your life's finished. Your mum, your dad, your brothers, sisters, all the life's finished. You just went. Confucius said, Chinese, I think it was Chinese philosopher said, if you kill someone, you've got to dig 2 graves, one for the person you've killed and one for yourself. Because if you kill someone, you kill yourself because you're taking all that. You might be okay when you're 20-year-old, when you're a 16-year-old, but when you get to 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever, it's in you and you can feel it. And you thought, I took that kid's life, and you never seen his mum or his daughters or his kids. He never grew up with them. I ruined the whole family, and I ruined my own family, because you ruin your own family's life. Your kids, your mum, your dad don't see you. You're in jail for 20 years. So it's not worth it. You carry a knife, you're not carrying it to fucking peel potatoes, are you? You're not carrying it to peel an apple. You're carrying a knife to show off, or you're carrying a knife to stab someone. So there's no way out of it. You know, the people are going to jail for it now. It's just, and if you, like I say, if you're in a fight and you get a black eye, you've got a black eye that heals up in a couple of days. But if you stab someone, the chances of killing them is a lot more than having a fight. So don't carry the knives. Don't try and show off. Just fucking keep away from people carrying knives. Because another thing, if you're carrying a knife, a lot of stuff when I've done in prisons and stuff, they get the knife took off them, and you can get stabbed with your own knife. You know, you pull a knife on someone, you drop it, somebody else gets and stabs you. So that's the worst thing now, knives. I'm the anti-knife campaign for the North East, me and Emma, with Ben Span's one. And what I'm trying to do, I spoke to a couple of mayors and a couple of MPs and a couple of councillors about doing a full machete ban right across Great Britain, or even in the UK, first like England. Because what do you need what does a 15-year-old child need a fucking machete for? One reason and one reason only: to intimidate someone or rob someone or chop somebody up. That's the only reason you can use it. So if you take it off them, so if, say for instance you're like a farm and you've got a shotgun, you have to have a license. Say you maybe a butcher, you might need a machete, so you have to have a license. You put it in a steel case, shut it up, so only the person who uses that machete for the purposes what it's used for can be used. But you have to have a certificate, like a shotgun certificate. I talked to like 2 mayors. They went, absolutely brilliant idea, absolutely fantastic idea. If you get caught with machete, automatic 2-year jail. No fucking bullshit, no getting off with it, nothing. Automatic. And then the next day, he phoned me the man. He went, you know what? We've just got 2 kids, one 15 and one 16, with 2 machetes in their house in Middlesbrough. The police had just got them that day. That was the day after I spoke to him. He went, so what you said is right. I said, another thing I said to the mayor, why do we need, what do you need a knuckle duster for? It says it on the tin, doesn't it? It's just self-explanatory. What is a knuckle duster? You put it on your knuckle, you punch it in your face to kill someone and make really damage someone's face. So why don't we stop selling novelty knives and novelty knuckle dusters and letting them come in from places like Spain and Greece and all these other places where they go on holiday and come back with knuckle dusters, koshes, or just ban them out of the country completely, because they're not for sure. They're there to use as a weapon. Any weapon, anything that's a weapon, especially with them with spikes on the end of it, you punch somebody with a spiked knuckle, you're going to kill someone. So why the hell would they let them sell them in this country, or even let them bring them into this country, stop them at the airport and say, put that in the bin and just melt them in a fucking big barrel bin, get rid of them all. Have amnesties all over. But then machetes are lethal. I mean, having a knife stabbed, I've been stabbed 5 times, but if you get hit with it, I've been macheted as well down my leg. But on the machete, you've got less chance. If you've got hit in the head with a machete, fucking chances of living is really slim. Chris Curry was very lucky when I saved his life that day over there in Billingham. He was hit with a little machete, a little samurai sword, sorry. So the machete would have been probably twice, 3 or 4 times as heavy, because they're quite heavy. It just goes straight through your fucking head, take your head off. So there's no way you should be able to carry them things anyway. It's just a fucking disaster waiting to happen. It's only a matter of time before you get full of drink, full of tablets, full of drugs, then you want to chop somebody up, and you're going to do it because you've got the Dutch courage full of drink and drugs. And we call them diazepams in England, where we live in Teesside, we call them charge sheets. Now, the reason why we call them charge sheets, I've known people chop the wife up, chop the kid up, and chop the fucking little daughter up, killed the 3 of them in the house. I was in jail with him, he was next door, me and Durham in the home house. I said, what are you in for? He said, for 4 days I didn't even know. He said, I killed my mum, I killed me wife and my 2 kids. And I felt fucking terrible for him. I felt terrible because I knew he didn't want to do it. But he now is in jail doing life stuff. 25 years he got. 25 year minimum he got to get out. But he did it on them diazepam, but there's no excuse because that's what they say. No, it's like alcohol, there's no excuse. Even if you kill someone and drink, there's no excuse for it. So it's like driving a car with alcohol. You shouldn't do it because if you're driving, you take a kid's life. I know you didn't mean it, and I know 100% you sincerely didn't mean it, but because you take alcohol, it impairs your vision, it impairs your where you would brake a lot quicker, or you would turn the steering wheel a lot quicker if you weren't impaired with the alcohol. So that there, if you kill a kid, I can't imagine anything worse than knocking a little kid over on the road, like 8, 9, 10-year-old, 7-year-old, 6, 5-year-old kid, and killing the kid in the car, knowingly using it. I think really what they should be classed as now is that the car should be classed as a dangerous weapon, like you're carrying a gun, like you're carrying a knife. So if you're driving that car intoxicated full of drugs and drink, you now got a deadly weapon, because that deadly weapon is the car, because you're not in full, your faculties are not full, you're not in control of your emotions, your speed reactions. When they've done surveys where they'll go stop and you'll stop straight away, where they're full of drugs after it, and they've stopped and they've been gone about 6 feet further. Those 6 feet further, you've killed someone. So it is a bad thing. I think they've got to do it. In Sweden, what they do now, Sweden, I think it's Switzerland, is a good thing. If you get caught drink driving, you go straight to jail. You don't get a court case. Alcohol in your system over a certain amount, you go straight to jail. I think you get a year in jail, and you get back out. If you do it again, you get 2 years. So that's what they've done there. There's no courts. You got automatically 1 or 2 years straight in jail. There's a special prison for people who drink driving now over there. It's starting to work because that's the best people are doing it. 100 on, 59. That's disgusting. That 59 thumbs up. I'm really disappointed. There's nothing had 1, 4, 5 fights in his own mind. Yeah, legend in his fucking lunchtime. Fucking is a lunchtime. Fucking never had a fight in his life. Can't even box. I've seen him, the fucking idiot. He had his son on the pads, poor little fuck. I felt sorry for him. I took him out. I said, I will go to shop with your son to get him away from me. He's bullying his own son. He was doing this for the kid. Well, you've got your pads. Put the pads up, you do that. You move your pad. And the kid will bang, bang, hit the pad. He was hitting him with the pads because the kid couldn't punch. So the kid's hands was there, he was going, doing that. He was throwing the pad onto the punch. The kid was like that. Better if I didn't know how to throw a punch. Instead of teaching him, said, forget about the pad, stand behind him and throw, get him tucked in and put his hand in here, tucked in your head, and then just throw the punch. That's it. Step there, throw that, and show him what. The first thing you need to learn is feet work. You need your feet work properly. Get your feet work right. You've got to place your feet. Because if your feet aren't placed properly, there's no power. You've got to place your feet right. That's where all the power comes from, your legs. That's why I have a theory like Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Joe Fraser, Joe Bugner. Even Joe Bugner, he was a big puncher. People like, people like that, fucking Lennox Lewis, all big. Prince Nazim, his fucking legs were massive. I seen him in Doncaster jail. My mate was a traveller, and he was in the same league as Nigel Benn, and he used to box with him, the amateurs. And he got in trouble. He got 10-year jail. This lad. He wasn't my friend. He was my friend's friend. So he's passed away now, Harry. So we went to Doncaster to go and see this lad box. It was an exhibition fight. He was getting out of jail. This lad. He was like Henry Wharton's friend, who was a good traveller and a good middleweight boxer. So we went to see him. And Prince Nazim was there doing a fucking exhibition. I looked at him. He was only up there on me about fucking. He's tiny. It must have been about fucking 7 or 8 stone, if that. He had these tiger fucking short things on. He was only, I think, 16 years old he was. So goes in the ring. There was 3 or 4 fights on. And then the main lad come on. And then he jumped in. He was flocking all over the ring, bouncing about. The lad couldn't get anywhere. And he was doing all this fucking stuff. He was fucking unbelievable. Hand speed and his footwork and his feet and everything. He was sublime. That Prince Nazim. And yeah, the pinnacle of his career was fucking brilliant. Really good. Me, I can't try to copy off him, didn't he? He was nowhere near his level. But yeah, good boxer be a count, but he had no chin. Another one. Joel and Freedom. Who could beat him in one at any style? What about Bones, John Jones. John Bones, John Jones, I don't know what you're on about. John Knuckles, Duster, and the big zombie knife. Yeah, that's what we said. The zombie knives, mate. You're right, son. Are illegal even now, even here in even in your house. But the thing is, they still let them bring them through, and they would normally fucking the airports to let them come through with the fucking things. A lot of the army lads bring them as well now. They shouldn't be bringing them through really because they're fucking dangerous. Them zombie knives, like you just said, that's exactly. I tell you where you get them all. Like places like fucking Whitby, Scarborough, Bazaar, novelty shops, selling stuff that can kill people. It's wrong, totally wrong. Yeah, you should. Yeah, it's definitely wrong, mate. If you can't do it with your fucking fists, what's the point of doing it? If you do it with your fist, you shaking hands, come and give us a cuddle, go for the drink. It's forgot about then. Just water on the bridge. Mounties 16V, Knuckles Dusters, and Big Zombie. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's just like all it takes is one person to come up with the idea, which I have come up with it. That's what we're going to try and do. Drink buckle is called Wicked. The drink buckle is called Wicked. Wicked. I remember once there was one called Castaway, Blastaway in 2020. And you used to put them all in one pint. It was equivalent to 6 pints in one. I used to call it Terminator. We made them up ourselves, the 3 drinks in one. They all fitted in one pint, the 3 drinks. It was fucking mad. And when you had one of them, fucking hell, man, they were unreal. Terminators, I called them. Turned into a fucking Terminator when you had them. Be fucking mental. Ian Beale's Jelly Deals. Yeah, so he just talks all the shit. So now he's saying he was from Scotland. I've got to tell you this. And he was born in Scotland. He's been dyeing his hair black because I've got black hair. He's fucking wanting to be me now. He's fucking touched on. And he's on about fucking, he's going to do this and he's going to do that. And he's working. We've been told by the authorities. That's him, the authorities. I'm still waiting for the authorities to come and get me, Jamie, arrest me and charge me for these offences. Again, so that was it. So when I come off the stage, everyone was clapping. We couldn't get out of the fucking place, at the snooker, and they were all loving it, and everyone loved it. It was great. And they said, you can come back any time. He said, can you come again next year? So then, because he fell asleep, they went, can you leave Sleeping Beauty alone? Can you leave Sleeping Beauty? Don't bring fucking him, he said. So yeah, we were all laughing like fuck. So they were all throwing dicks on his head. Like on the camera bits. You get a camera, you can put it on it. I don't know you do it when you use it for cameras. Like the phone things, you can put like pretend things like monster's face on and all that. So he's in the crowd. She's going, what's he doing again? And this is his wife texted Emma. He's fucking embarrassed himself. She said, everyone's laughing at us and everything. So I went and got the money, like I said. So Bobby's got autism, but he's not daft. Bobby just smashed his fucking skull down. Bobby can have a fight. Bobby's got the same DNA. He's strong as a fucking bull. And he's one of them, you'd have to knock him out to stop him. He will just fucking keep coming at you. He is dangerous, really dangerous. But nicest kid in the world, you know that. But when he goes, he didn't realise how close he come to fucking getting done enough him at night. So he said to Bobby, if you pinch my money, like they really cheeky to me. Bobby was like, I could see his eyes go pure black. No, man know that. And that DNA, you've got to go black like a shark. And he went, I haven't fucking pinched your money like that. When he went, he fucking shit himself. And I went, sorry, Bobby, sorry. He's going, so when we're in the car, he's having to pee up against the thing. And Emma's stood there and she's going, do you mind? He's got his thing out and everything. He's just like Paul Sykes being a dirty bastard, peeing up against the bin. There's people walking down the streets. There's like kids 12, 13, 14, waiting to see us. We went in the door where the companies were still hanging about the streets, young kids and that, And he stood peeing up against the wall. And the bin, everyone was just walking, laughing at them, stood like that, pissing like Paul Sykes, saying, you dirty bastard. Anyway, I said, get you fucking disgusting. Yeah, go to the toilet. You could have went to the toilet. The toilets were on the way out. So I haven't been paid. You haven't paid me. If you rob me, I'm going back and get my money. I said, we've been paid. I'll give you the money. Emma's give you the money. She hasn't given me the money. If you give me it over here, so he's over near the bin, and he's doing this on the bin as well. Piss all over his hands and everything. Piss all over his hands because he's peed all up the bin. It's all ran down the bin, and he's searching on the bin and on the floor, and his hands are full of piss. I went, he's fucking minging he is. So then he's going blaming me. Oh, you haven't paid me out of all. You haven't paid me all that. And then we got his money. So he went all the way back from there. It's about 20, 30 minute drive. So we were doing about 60 miles an hour in a car. I went, I'm good. I said, you're getting on my nerves, Jamie. I said, you're disrespecting Tony because you're going, I don't like church. It's boring. I like dwarfs who have sex with one-legged women. I like donkeys having sex with dogs and all that. And I said, do you have to talk like that? He's a man of God. He's come and helped us tonight, coming here and never charges a penny. And you're talking disrespectful, my friend, he's my church leader. And he was like, Tony was like that shit. He said, anyway, he went, I'll just get out then. He opened the door, the fucking divvy cunt. So I'm in the front and I've grabbed him by the shoulder and pulled him back. And he couldn't, if he went out, he'd have been killed. 60 mile an hour in a country lane, the daft cunt tried to get out of the car. Mortal drunk again. So I pulled him. Bobby put the seatbelt on him, swapped seats. Bobby went the other side, like, so he couldn't get out. Stopped the car a bit. And fast in a minute, he said, he's fucking mentally. I'm just walking over, about 20 miles, 25, 30 miles of his house there. You fucking crank, you don't even know you're in the middle of nowhere. So we saved him. Anyway, we get to my house. So he's come in the house. Can I go to the toilet? Of course you can go to the toilet's there. But I haven't got my money. He said, I haven't got my money. I said, well, you must have lost it. You're fucking mortal drunk. I told you not to take them diazepam things. You've made a fucking right mockery of the right, a mockery of the place. I said, the people are fuming with you. They don't want you back no more. Anyway, he goes to the toilet and then he comes down and like that. He'd opened his trousers for the way and went and come out. And he had a little, you know, you have like a little pocket in it, like a little fancy pocket, not you call it, like a secret pocket. The money fell out, all the £10 notes and £20 notes fell on the floor. I said, there's your fucking money. Went, well, yeah. So Tony took him home and he gave him a fucking fiver to take him about 40 miles out his way. Give him a fiver. Sat with hundreds of pounds of money in his pocket, give him a fiver. Right, agreed. Then he's phoned up going, I says, don't ever ask him to go with me again. I said that he did it the other week when we went to the child's place. We went to a school. It was kids about 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds. We went in and me and Bobby went with him the first time. And I knew some of the teachers and that, and the headmaster was over the moon. I went. And then I said, no, I don't know money. I said, put it in the kids' fund. He said, oh, thanks. Anyway, we went in, I did a talk and that. I said, look, have you heard the county lines? I was talking about kids being mules, you're carrying drugs. You're carrying drugs, you think you're clever because you're getting 50 quid off someone, but you're carrying £20,000 worth of drugs over the line, but it's going to poison all these, kill the kids. It's heroin you're taking and crack and things like that, which is killing people. And it's contributing to the kids selling them and being prostitutes or getting paid for them and using people. I said, so don't do it because you're part of that ring now. So I was talking to them, I said, if you get caught, you could get 5-10 years in jail. Where them, they get off and they're giving you 50 quid, but they're making 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grand a week. And they're giving you £50 to run about, to be a mule. What does a mule mean? It's like a donkey. So you're running out, eat, you run around like an eater. You're getting 50 quid. When you get caught, you're going to jail for a long, long time. You never see your mum and dad for years and years, and you have a drug record, but them aren't carrying it. They're giving it you to carry, and you just, anyway, they phoned up the school a couple of days later and said, you know what you talked to, one's come in, he used to smoke cannabis every day for about 3 years, he's been on it, he stopped doing it. And then another one's come in and said, I'm not going to be a mule, I'm going to be an ER. And another one come in and said something else, like he's going to pack in, selling drugs. So that was 3 kids, and two of them now were in the army. Them 3 kids who talked to us, we found out from the teachers, obviously we still know them, 2 of them have gone in the army just for that speech that I gave. Fucking marvellous. Marvellous to help people, help kids. But he was there in the toilet sniffing shit again. And I knew the teacher when she went on. I said, I'm sorry, but she went, oh, the head bastard will go up, I'll phone the police. Ruined it again, so I couldn't go back there now. So everywhere we would go, ruined it. St. Paul Venice said the same. He said, everywhere I go, he's ruining everything I do. He was getting into places. We're supposed to be going down there for Paul Venice for his little son, which is like a good thing he was going to do. But he ended up calling me a spacker and a retard and calling people names and saying I smashed his house up. I couldn't smash your house up when I was in bed, paralysed. You're fucking not right in the head. Well, yeah, I'm not right in the head. But now stop pretending to be me. You can never be me, you idiot. So now he's saying he's from Glasgow, not Coatbridge, and he was born in St. Alexander's Hospital, putting posters up saying he didn't come down here till he was 13. He's fucking balmy. Be yourself. Be yourself. And if you have got a job, stick to it. But you won't stick to it because everywhere you go, you have to be the best of them. You've never been the best of anything. So just be what you are and get on with your life and stop being a fucking mug and showing yourself up and your family up. That's why your mum and dad won't let you in the house. They won't let you anywhere near them. You're not like your mum's frightened of you. Your dad won't let you in because you don't you're the young boys. Your dad caught you in bed and your dad chased you out of the house. And if it was, say you were gay and all that, nothing wrong with being gay. But you've got a family, you've got a kid, you've got 2 stepdaughters. You've got another couple of kids to your daughter. She won't even let you near the grandkids. And I don't blame her, neither will the fucking father of Shelley's 2 kids won't let you near their kids. So you're not allowed near children. That is a red flag for me. So honestly, you need to fucking stop being a fucking idiot. 2020 bad too. Yeah, it is. Yeah, especially if you're all right if you're having a drink in the house. I wouldn't go out down that town drinking now because there's idiots want to fight you. And if you have had a drink, you're more reluctant to have a fight. They can fucking up about you daft cunt because you're more angry with drink makes you more. You do things in drink, like you be pissed up against walls and fucking jumping into rivers and all sorts. And if you've seen yourself the next day, you think, oh, it's like that video of him down London. Somebody said, put that video up in the rehabs and say people are going to do a run. They'll think, fuck that, I'm not doing a run. Being like him, it'll stop people doing a run from the rehabs. Put it on buses. Children, do not end up like tinfoil. Do not take drugs. Why? Because should be a public information film in schools. It should be putting all in these different schools, showing you, here he is 3 years ago and here he is now. Before and after. Fucking hell. No one would take drugs again. The government would fucking save billions, wouldn't they? All the drug dealers would be fuming. Nobody want any drugs. I'm not having them. I'm not having the tinfoil drugs. No, that's what they'll be calling it, the tinfoil drugs. I'm not taking the tinfoil drugs. I don't want to end up looking like tinfoil. Yeah, but he brought all this on himself and all that shit. What I've had today, all the stuff about down London where Ian had 8 bottles of Diamond White one night many moons ago and was pissed as a fart. Yeah, it's Diamond White. Remember that Diamond White? No good, is it though? Fucking is that stuff? It's never even seen a fucking apple. Emma calls it. Never even seen an apple. It's supposed to be fucking made with apples. It's never been seen. And it's never. Emma's funny as fuck. She said it's never even seen a fucking apple. That stuff. It's never seen an apple. That bottle of White Lightning. Yeah, fucking no apples in it whatsoever. He's on chemical. He's in charge of it. He can't be in charge of a chemical plant. What I think it is, it'll be like a no rubbish place where you take like batteries, bare chemicals, the batteries, and then they give them and put them on the back of the lorry and they take them somewhere and they break them down. And I think that's where they'll be in a place where you get maybe say like asbestos will be dropped off and you bag it up or whatever, masks on stuff and put it somewhere. He's not going to. He's got asthma. Well, I've got asthma, and you've seen me here with the inhaler, so you copied off me again. That's what you've done. That's what I've got to tell you. Now, she said he's had asthma since he was a kid. No, he never had asthma when I was up there. He's copied off me because I had asthma when I was born. I was born with asthma, and I've had it since I was a baby. Since I was 3 years old, I had an asthma attack, nearly died. Pneumonia, so when I was 3, nearly died. So I've had asthma. So he's copying my stuff. He's become a Brian Cockerill. So he's MPD, multiple personality disorders, are starting to come back again. Okay, now. He's been Paul Sykes. He's been every fucker, hasn't he? I've been everywhere, man. 115 on 74 thumbs up. Where's the 100? I'll tell you what, 130, I think 130 thumbs up the other night. Unbelievable. It's in your channel. Shit, no one likes your channel. Well, how come I've got 115 people on 74 thumbs up? You don't even get 1 thumbs up. And you don't even get 1 person on. You've got 132 fake accounts. And on them fake accounts, you can tell it's you talking to yourself because you go, I don't know this man called Jamie Bile, but I think he's the best author since on these shores, these English shores, since Oscar Wilde. As soon as you mention Oscar Wilde, a certain word, I know you because I know that you've got your fingerprint, right? And then you've got the logistic fingerprint, which is how you talk. I know it's you. I'm like an FBI fucking agent because I know exactly how you talk. As soon as you open your mouth and start typing, I can tell by the words. I can tell by the way you do things. I'm just like a fucking genius at doing things like that. I've always been great at doing things like that. And I know it's you. I just know it's you within 2 seconds. Every single time. He put one the other day, I said, I know it's you, you daft cunt. He went, it's not me, it's someone else. He's fucking sick. It's not me, he said. It's not me, it's someone else. And then when you say something about something, you can tell him as he takes it down. He doesn't like the truth. But the only reason why I've gone on for ages, I know you sound like a fucking record player, it's just to drive that fuck out a little bit what he's done to my wife and all the other people he's fucking tortured for the last 10, 12 years, threatening to rape people's dogs and kill people and burn people's house, which he has tried to burn my house down. But it's never him. Sending 15 and 16-year-old fucking kids to my house, paying little children. That's him all over. But you've got no house. You've been chased out of the whole of Teeks. You'll never come back here. And wherever you were found, people will come looking for you. No matter where you hide, you'll be found, because what you've done to Marty and us lot and all the other people you've done. It's not just studies torture. He's tortured people from everywhere. People down London and everything, Manchester, big gangsters from Liverpool. He's tortured Birmingham, top gangsters, Bradford, people from all over. He's had goes at and putting these stupid, what was it, dark box secrets. That was you, Shirley. We can tell it's you because it's always on about me. So you're doing that videos about me all day long. So I'll do real ones that are live and the ones that are telling the truth about you. But you're putting ones up that don't even exist, made up shit. Shit that's made up. Oh, didn't this? Bride made his reputation by beating old women up in the markets. Fucking, it doesn't even make now everyone knows that's you because you're fucking mental. There's no one else would put that comment. So that's how we know it's you, because you're fucking anything out of the box, crackers, is you, because you're a loop. You're definitely fucking loopy loo. In Scotland, you'd be in the barmy cane. Getting that fucking barmy cane, you. So, what's that? Grapes. I'm Spartacus. One of the greatest films I've ever fucking seen. That I loved it. Yeah, so he tried to pretend he was. I've been in 8 jails. I've done this. I've done that, and it was all fucking shit. Been to jail for burgling people's houses. I've never been to jail in my life for burgling someone's house. Never ever. I've kicked the door in. The drug dealers in. I've never sneaked in somebody's house and broken their house and pinched the fucking stuff out of the house. It's all been drug dealers or people wanting to fight with me. I've never ever burgled a house. I've got no burglars on my record. I've got nothing. I've got no assaults against the public, like you said. Your words when you're talking about me, when you're pulling me up about the book, the resurrection book, and then you're talking about me about the Lee Duffy book. Brian never hurt any. Me and my wife love Brian. He's a lovely man. He's like, to me and my wife, he said he would never hurt us. He never hurt a normal person in the pub, normal person in public. And he would never hurt any innocent people, and he would never hurt children. So why am I hurting people now? Why you saying I'm doing it now when you said 3 years ago, when you were talking about me 30 years ago, saying Brian was the main man, he was the law in this area, but he was always fair with people, you could talk to him, but under that smile, there's a deadly man. You're fucking right, he is. So you want to watch yourself, you little fucking rat. But you took advantage of me thinking I was in that wheelchair for the rest of my life, and Jesus and myself and all these beautiful people on here kept me going, pushed me, and people come around, Christians and people from God, and Big Joe Egan and John Elite and top celebrities and Tina Shaw, all them come on and showed what you were. Fucking a little nobody. People from Big Matt Leg come to see me a few times, and legendary people like big Mickey Pat Robinson, Cal Walker, lovely people come to my house and to see me. All the people from Glasgow are ready to fucking destroy you. All the people from fucking Coatbridge, my family, all the Redcar people, the Middlesbrough people, the South Bank, the Grangestown, the Middlesbrough, the Billingham, the fucking Hartlepool, they all fucking hate you. They can't stand you. Cause trouble everywhere you go. The old saying in Scotland, he tries trouble in a fucking empty house. He's one of them. He argues himself in the fucking mirror. Graham McCorbett. I can't be loopy, Lou. Without drugs, save. I got my medical records. Yeah, my fucking hands are killing me now. Really bad with no medication. I've got some Nurofen now. I took now for 4 days. I'm sat here. I've got eyes of water with it. All the pain. It's like your hands, when you get your hand trapped. It's like trapped in a fucking door. It's fucking horrible. I'm sick to death of them. I'm going to have to fucking see what's happened with this. Matty Turner, bless him. He was going to pay £20,000 to get me a fucking. Tina Shaw was going to put the money up. They were going to put the money up to get me fucking, them stem cells. I said, I can't do that. No. And people from Hartlepool putting thousands in. Somebody else was putting $5 grand in. Somebody else was putting money in. My sister. I went, no, I can't do that. Take money off people. Fuck it. I'd rather sit here and fucking be in pain and do that. I'm not taking money off people. Woman off people. You have what with pineapple juice? Not jelly deals. My favourite is Saturday, and I've been listening to the old rave songs. I fucking love them. I used to love rave, because I used to really be good at dancing. I used to go on the dance floor, and it used to be open night, the Moors in the Red Sea. And I'd come in, and everyone get out of the way. Not be nasty. They all just knew me, Brian, my fucking hands used to be killing. No one's up to that. And the people want to shake your hand in them days. It wasn't 5-5, it was all shaking your hand. And some people come around 20, 30 times just to shake my hand, the same person over and over again. Right, they were obsessed with me, but they all loved me because no one got hurt in them clubs. I had all them clubs. I had the Coliseum boxed off. I had the Eclipse. the Birches, Blazers, Manhattans, the Powerhouse, Sharkies, Leos. I had all them clubs boxed off. I had all the clubs in Billingham boxed off. The station. I used to work there. I used to work in the Picture House, Billingham. We had Ilda Rigby's upstairs. We had all them clubs boxed off, and then we had Spennymoor. We had Redcar boxed off. We had places in Gisborough. We had places in Mask. I had all the shops. It was like fucking monopoly. I had all the shops everywhere, different little shops. £50 a week for £50 a month for a shop. If you've got like 100 shops, it's a lot of fucking money. It's really good. I'd go around. There was like Tony Soprano. They'd give me brown envelopes and white envelopes everywhere I fucking went. I'd have all the cafes. So I'd go in a cafe, you know. I'd have the kebab shops. I'd go in there and get that. I'd have the fucking takeaways, the Indians, the Chinese. I had everywhere. Places like that, all over Hartlepool, all over Stockton, all the port track boxed off. Most, and then they were starting to do the houses. I was like charging £1 a month to make sure nobody got burgled up there. So that was good. There was a lad called Gary. He was a school teacher, and he was a fireman as well. He had a part-time fireman, and he wanted me to do the whole thing with Bowie because there's something like 5,000 houses up here. So it'd be like £5,000 a month instead of paying insurance. Hundreds of pounds people are paying, and the police don't turn up. I'd turn up straight away because I live here. So I had two lads going to employ with two guard dogs and two vans. We'd be there quicker than the police, but it never come off because they end up taking fucking drugs again like a divvy. But I think it's going to be like in the future. I think it's going to be security are going to take over the place. It's like that in America now. The police are scumbags. That nobody fucking gives a fuck. They won't do the job. They cost a fucking fortune, and they don't even turn up. They don't even fucking turn up for a 999. My wife sat in the house on fire bombs at my house. She phones 999 like a normal woman who's allowed to phone the police. She's got no record of fuck all. And they won't come out to the house when my house is on fire, and won't come out to fucking see these people who have used incendiary devices, and they've used fucking detonators and made a homemade bomb, which is against the law to have a firework in the street. Never mind put fucking tomahawks, they were called. I found out tomahawks fireworks were the biggest band going, but when you put them together and tied together, I was taught by Gary Tarrell, and I've taught my mate, he's ex-SES, he worked for MI5. He said they've covered up a terrorism act then, because that as soon as you put, if you're a metal kettle, you filled it with powder off the fireworks and pushed it down, and you put something in it, then you put a fuse on it and lit it. That's a bomb. That's a homemade bomb, but it's still a bomb. You made that bottle there, and you put powder in it, and you put it, tightened it down, and you put a fuse on it and set it alight. The police didn't even fucking take the stuff. They didn't even turn up for 19 days. The car was out there, so the windows were open, so the elements would kill them. They didn't want it. It's because it's Brian Cockerill. They'd rather have me fucking dead. That's what they'd rather have. They'd be happy to get me killed, them punts. They wouldn't give a fuck. They'd be like that, dancing in the fucking city, wouldn't they? Fucking loving it. Scumbags. And paedophiles can phone up, and Rollins like him, and they turn up at his fucking house in herds, jumping through hoops for him, arresting people for nothing, and other people make statements against him. Nothing happens to him. He keeps getting off, because we all know he's a snitch. But even Marty said that. How the fuck does he keep getting off? Because he's working with the police, Marty and Terry can't get it in their heads. And Terry finally got it now. He said, yeah, you're right, these fuck could give them information. Been doing it for years. What better way, right, to infiltrate someone? Go on with Arthur, would you like to do a book? And you get these fucking idiots doing books who've never done anything. But they'll know, like, he shot him or he's killed him. So you go, what happened that day? And then we'll do this with you'll have a dictaphone in here like that there. And you have one, he'll go, just turn the dictaphone off so we just between us, what happened there? It's on the table. But he's got one in his pocket here, or it's hidden over there somewhere in the room. And he's asking you questions and you're answering them, and then he's got to the police with him. That's how he's getting off. This is how he's been getting away with it. Because we give them information because of the double jeopardy law. So we don't know how many people he's had locked up, how many people he's got convicted. But he's asked quite a few people I know about murders. And not just one or two, I went about 20 or 30 people have come forward and told me. He's asked me who killed him and who killed him and who killed him. All different cities, different areas have told me, from the place at Liverpool, Birmingham, Doncaster, Wakefield, Durham, Hartlepool, Middlesbrough. He's asked people who's murdered him, who killed him, and done this. So he's definitely working with them. I mean, now come on, guys. He's working with two ex. One copper was a drug squad officer, detective inspector, detective sergeant from drug squad. Both of them ended up being the national regional crime squad that were after me, and the other one was murder squad with the Lee Duffy murder. And he's divulged that information to tinfoil. Now, under the Official Secrecy Act, I don't know if it's the Official Secrets Act or it's the act where you're like a social worker or a priest or a doctor, you have the patient confidentiality. You're not allowed to divulge people's records in hospitals and things. You're not allowed to be a priest and divulge information between you, God, and yourself and the priest. So if you divulge that information, it's not the Official Secrecy Act, but it's the same type of thing. Now, he's broke protocol. So he's broke protocol, that copper, by telling him what happened to Lee Duffy. Now, Carol Edwards, who was his wife for nearly 7 years, and the mother of children and grandkid, and he's got sisters and other relations, can't get that information. His mum and dad couldn't get the information. How can a little chancer like tinfoil come along and get that information off them? Because he's give them something what they wanted to know, and they've give him something what he wanted to know. It's crisscross, it's called. Passing information off, like the Russians, you can get like a spy. They're called a double agent or a treble agent. You could be working for the British, you could be working for the Germans, you could be working for the Russians. So you have double agents passing information on each other. You tell him that, and then they'll tell the British, and the British will tell the Germans will tell the Russians. And that's what you are. You're going in, telling all the different police stations different things to help them, because you're working with the police, but you've been found now out. We have fucking exposed you what you are, a complete snitch. And the amount of people. Yeah, you're right, Smurfy. But what they did, they also Smurfy, the police won't come up to your house. But the fire bombs, they set speed camera bands up in non-accident areas. But the thing is, mate, when it's a fire bomb, that's an endanger of somebody's life. That's totally different. Somebody puts your windows through, it's just a brick going to the window, even though the brick could kill you technically, but very, very rare. But when somebody fucking puts a fire bomb in your car, and the car's on the front, with two other cars right next to it, 6 feet, not even 10 feet apart, the three cars. 3 cars could have went up. But what happened, the fire brigade, when he threw it, and your car, it's hit the roof, and it's gone under the garage. It's gone down the petrol, gone into the garage, and set the garage alight. Now, my gas boiler's in there. Well, the gas boiler's on the right-hand side. The fireman said, if that would have hit that gas boiler, that boiler would have went up. That car would have went up. Them 2 cars next door, and their boiler would have went up. This whole block could have been completely flattened. He said, I've seen it happen before. The fireman, he said, this has been going on for 3 years. These are good people, these. So what the fireman done, God bless them, the firemen, them scumbag coppers would even come out. The firemen come out and park the cars outside about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Park the big cars, them big fucking Dennis's on the front. And what you doing, guys? He said, we're only about a mile from you. So if there is an incident somewhere else, we can get there, but we're staying here all day in case it come back again. I was fucking like tears in my eyes. I couldn't believe it. I thought, fucking hell, they're doing that for us, like that. So we said, but they won't help you with the police. They were disgusted in the police. Why don't you do your job? He said to him, he was like the high-ranking copper, and he was the chief inspector of the fucking of the fire brigade. He said, you need to do your job. This is the 3rd time I've had about 5 smoke detectors in here and letterboxes on. Why don't you do your job? He said, how have we got here before? How have we got here before you? When you've got little cars, we've got big, massive trucks full of water in them. How have we got here quicker than you? Fucking fuming he was, the fire brigade bloke. So the next day I said, they were out there from about 8, 9, 10, I can't remember the exact time, say 10 o'clock till about 4. So what they were going to do, they were going to let them in. When they went in, they were just going to block the street, because when you put the children together, you can't get out. Because them Dennis's, them big Dennis fucking fire engines, the whole street was blocked. So I thought, I know what they're going to do. They're going to block the country. But them couldn't never come back that time. But they came that day. I went out and thanked them all. I couldn't believe it. But they did more than the police did. Terrible. And then the other cop will come in his name. I won't say his name. He said, I'm not being disrespectful. He said, I'm a policeman myself, but my colleagues have got this all wrong. He said, they should have been here. 999 phone call, no matter who it is, should be out straight away, especially with a fire. He said, and also, you're down as vulnerable, because you remember when I went to the police station, I had to cut my socks, because he'd said the Crown prosecution have got an 18-month investigation and you're going to jail. I was getting worried, because obviously I was on meds, and the meds make you feel you're all over, you float on them. And everyone's going, well, what if they come heavy-handed? Knowing for a fact you can't help yourself. The cowardly bastards will try and get you and drag you. And once they drag you and they break your back, and you are in with the wheelchair after that, or you might die. So I said, okay. So my sister come over, my sister's social worker, so she came over, got me in the wheelchair and pushed me out into a car. and took me in their car, and we got over there, and I had to walk in. My bouncer, he was going, ha ha, pissy socks, laughing at me, like, take the piss out of me. And pissy socks, no, Jamie, I had to walk like that because I was paralysed. This is the same man who helped you when people were going to beat you up, now phone them up and threaten them for you. The same man who come to your house at 4 or 5 in the morning 5 times for you when people are outside your house. The same man you're laughing at and calling name, put food in your fucking mouth and food on the table for your son and you and your family for 4 years out of my books, because you made more money off my book and all the other books put together and the documentaries. That's what you turned on and said to Sean Atwood, you said to Webber, and you said it to Emma, and you said to Bobby. His books make more money, more people are interested in him than anyone else, and that's why you won't give me my book back. But it's all coming to the end now because people know what you are. So what happened is, there was another firebombing in the same, about 5 or 6 miles away from where I live in Middlesbrough. And in this incident, the police turned up, 2, not 1, 2 top of the range BMW armed response units turned up in about 6-7 minutes, pulled up, so cordoned off the whole area, put cones out, got a recovery truck, put the vehicle, they got the vehicle thing out of the fire brigade, with the fire extinguishers, took the vehicle and put it in the back of the truck and put a tarpaulin on the back of it and took it away. So how can you do that for someone 6 miles away and not do it for me and my wife? And we had 5 different attacks in 9 days. You didn't do it now, because the great thing here, what you've done, Cleveland Police, you've just fucking opened a hornet's nest. What you've done, like, everyone I've talked to, top barristers, people coming in who are clever, loads of you guys are really clever. You're not fucking stupid. You're clever people. Why the fuck would they go to his house at 999 and sit outside all night, and they won't come to my house? So my wife's petrified. Building brick missed her by that much. It was like a big fucking foundation brick, and if it hit her, she bent down there with Eli. She just went out, and the brick come through the window. It missed her. She went, that brick could have killed me. Went, oh, tinfoil went, I better give the lad his money back then. No, sorry, I better get my money back off the lad then, because in other words, I wanted to kill you. And then he's putting things up saying, who should we kill first, Brian or Emma? We'll have a poll. Should we kill Emma? Let's all vote now. Or should we kill Eli and cut his head off and then bum him? And then the copper was here. He was here when he seen it. He said, what's that? And it was said, shall we get such and such? We'll blow. And there was a picture of Emma, a woman, like it said Emma's name, a woman with her head blown off with a shotgun. This is what's going to happen to you, you fucking horrible cunt, all these horrible things to Emma. Said you're going to shoot her and blow her head off. Now, isn't that surely threats to kill someone? But what did they do with his phone? He was asked to come in the fucking police station, not like raided like me. Raided, paralysed I am at the time, making me walk in the back of a fucking van with a little couple of bits of wood, because I couldn't get in the van. I couldn't bend down because of the injuries I've got. So they made a plastic piece where you put your bottles in. What's it called? Where you get your stuff recycled box. There was a green one, yellow one. So they put a green one. And I stood on it. It fell right through it. But as you know, in the back of the police store, you can't grab anything to get in with because there's no handles. So my hand's paralysed, and the other one's virtually paralysed. So I can't get in. I can't push myself up. I had no strength to push myself up into the van. So I'm like 6'3", and you've got to step up the van. So I can't get in. He said, "Oh, well, you just take the piss." I never said that. He said, "You just come in it now." Like the other way, take the piss. I said, "I'm not. I'm seriously injured." Anyway, so no matter what, you're going to have to get in this van. I thought they're going to fucking try and drag me in a minute, and I would end up fucking punching one of the cunts, or then butt the fucker or whatever, doing something daft because I'm losing my temper now. And then the next minute, he goes, "Oh yeah, we'll get this piece of wood." So as you know, key commander, great like army, I'd come out and he cut the wood up. He did the windows for us. Another couple of lads from Cockerill Young. So that bit of wood, it was only flimsy wood, was like that long. There's still some out there now. They put that together. I think the floor, another stuff what you make your floor and you've got. It was like that. So they put that between a green box and a yellow box. It made me walk along it like fucking Pirates of the Caribbean, walking on this fucking plank of wood to walk in the back of the van. So then the fucking plank of wood went poof, just snapped. And I said, "Look, you're going to break me fucker. Could have broke my leg there. Could have broke me fucking neck." You know, you're heavier than I thought. So then they got two plastic boxes, put them together, and then two more pieces of wood made me walk again. Now that's fucking terrible, that isn't it? Imagine when I go to court, imagine a doctor saying, "Why would you let a man walk who's virtually paralysed and on top medication walking the plank on the medication makes you really drowsy, because I was half asleep on clozapam and other tablets would make you drowsy, obviously, because you need to sleep on the night. So they made me walk the plank like the fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. I've never seen anything like it in my life. So it's not just one protocol that brought that many. So that cop then said, well, you should never have been manhandled, and there should never have been that many police come to the house, because you vulnerably should have been taken. There was a little car went by, a little like Fiesta, what the fuck we call them, little fizz bombs. Well, look, officer, I'll just go in that car there. I can just sit in that car and sit down. I can't get in the back of here. I'm not taking the piss. Look at my neck. I'll show the big scar on my neck and my back. He said, well, you still got. I said, yeah, but he said, well, you can't go in there. Well, why can't I go in the fucking police car? Started losing my temper. You know, there's no need for getting violent a bit. I'm not getting violent. You're getting on my fucking nerves now. And he jumped back there. The assholes went there and said, they shit themselves and you shouted at them. I said, I'll get in the car. I'm not causing trouble. I've got handcuffs on. I'll let you put the handcuffs on me. He said, oh, it's protocol. I said, well, I've never had handcuffs in my fucking life on me, only once when they got done for the murder. Attempted murder, where it was a little shite again. So I've done nothing wrong. I've complied to it, and I'm willing to go. I've already been to the police station fucking 5 times. I've already been down 3 times with these fucking allegations of fucking threats. And every time there's been no further action, because it's just all bullshit lies. So why aren't you doing your job? Because the last 3 times we went in, the 3rd time, I hope this is the last time I have to come in here. The cop was from Leeds, who'd only been in the police for a year, and he said, there's nothing here, there's nothing malicious. All you're doing is telling the truth. He said he doesn't seem to know the difference between an opinion, and everyone has an opinion. Brian don't like you, ugly fat cunt, whatever. Okay, mate, no problem. That's your opinion. You've got that right to say that if you want to say that. When you're constantly, every day, texting me, I'm going to rape your wife, I'm going to burn your house down, I'm going to kill your dog, I'm going to kill your brother, I'm going to rape your mum, I'm going to rape your sister. All day long, Emma's got something like 9,000 malicious communications and 2,000 screenshots of where she's getting shot or I'm getting stabbed or killed, with all these stupid videos that his wife keeps putting up. They're absolutely insane. Honestly, we've had this for coming up for 4 years just because we said we want invoices. They wouldn't give us the invoices, so we asked for the judge to go to court. We wouldn't out court case that I proved to you. Even Matty Joseph Turner's grandson coming the other night and proved Brian did go to court. My granddad did get the book awarded back, but they still haven't given the man his book back because they're just fucking horrible people. But the thing is, it's going to be a nightmare for them soon. But the great thing is with the police, Emma complained and they went within 2 days. There was a place called in Cockerill. I don't know the name of it. It's a place where you complaints, for the police if they've done something wrong. So all you great people on here, something like 200 people complained from Australia, America, all over the world. People phoned up and said, what's happening? That house is disgusting. I'm a solicitor. I'm an ex-councillor. I'm an ex-MP. There was fucking loads coming from all over. And she said, oh, Emma, will you please tell people to stop ringing us because we're inundating. I said, no, we won't. You do your fucking job. Never swore. I said, you do your job right. And you wouldn't have to do this. I said, this just shows you that there's an outcry of the public. He phones the police. You turn up and in 5 or 10 minutes. We phoned the police. Well, my wife phoned the police. I was in the police station. And they didn't turn up for 5 days. I think it was 2 days to come. And then they didn't come and look at the car for, I think it was about 18, 19 days. So, and they never took, when he dropped the smoke bomb, that little wanker, and I chased him, he dropped it. I got it, I brought it in and put it on here. When the cop was coming, he said, I'll take that, and took the smoke bomb. And when Emma phoned, said, well, you've got the smoke bomb, you can, my mate's XSCS, I was telling you, Kev Kivley's brother it was. He said, that there's got a number on, that can be chased to whatever facilities made it. He said, and also on another live contact was from Holland and said, I do pyrotechnics, which is fireworks. He says, you have to be over 18 to do them. I think you have to be 21 to sell them. And he said, but you're not even allowed to set them in the street and throw them now because that's classes under the Terrorism Act 1818. And Carl Walker sent me a message saying the same. So I checked it up and it was, they should have been charged for that. But they wouldn't even come out. So they got all the tinfoil 19 days after it and asked them to come in, the police station. Asked him to come in. Said raiding him, taking all the devices. I didn't mind him taking the devices. I've had my devices now for fucking over 5 months. Still nothing. There's nothing on them. She said, well, we're looking at 6 days stuff. Well, it's taking you some time to look at 6 days stuff, isn't it? What you doing, you fucking slinks? You're keeping me on this fucking investigation shit because you know what's coming down on you. You're trying every fucking thing you can to nick me, but you're getting nothing. Yeah. And just look there, Emma Cockerill still haven't attended my 999 call. There you are. What there? Yeah, they're just fucking horrible. And the great thing is, because they haven't attended that, they've broke every protocol in the book, trying to make me walk in the back of a fucking van full of medication. I was in bed half asleep. I thought, oh no, yeah, they're going to get, he's going to arrested now and blah, blah, blah. Let Emma do all that. I taught the cops. I went to bed. So I took my medication to go to sleep and everything. I'm there in bed and half asleep with a little Eli, and the fucking next minute, fucking cops are everywhere. And he said, I never made a statement. My wife, and she went, me, Shirley Ann Boyle, I made the statement. It wasn't him. And it's him lying again, pretending. And when I proved to you, I showed you the statement, not the statement, I showed you the bail conditions. Nothing to do with the son. Just trying to make me look the baddie. You know me better than anything. Fighting legendary top fighters like Lee Duffy, Dave Garside, and fucking going to fight other top fighters all over the country and people all over Teesside and beat over the years. Like Vulture said, he's fought them all, beat them all. So why the fuck would I go and jeopardise my reputation and go and threaten a 13-year-old kid with a knife, take my wife with me and get her locked up as well? It fucking didn't make sense. And then 2 months after, she said, oh, it wasn't Brian and Emma, it was somebody else trying to blame Terry. And then she went, oh, she changed it again, the narrative again. She changed the fucking MO again, saying, oh, my son has to go to bed with a knife every night. Well, what woman, like Emma said, will let their own child go to bed with a fucking big knife every night? I'd never go to anyone's fucking house. I've never been to anyone's house in my life. I don't need a knife. My fucking hands are weapons. I don't need fucking knives. I certainly don't need a knife for you, you daft little cunt. Muppet. You ran off the other week. When you offered me out in the gym, you never turned up, by the way. Right? So what you done, you barricaded yourself in the house, pretend you were going to hang yourself. Then you did it again. That's the second time you've done that in the last 6 months. Pretend you're going to hang yourself. That's your part of the piece. So people, oh, he's going to kill, give him another chance. No, we've already done all this. We've had church leaders speak to you. You've laughed at them. You've made them, they won't get involved no more because they know what you are now. And at the end of the day, we've tried to help you and you won't. It's just greed with you and your wife. You weren't happy making 37, that's 63% of the book. You wanted it all. Poor Marty, you took 100% of his book and give him nothing. You give him £53, £50, 33 pence in 4 years. That's all he's had. And all the other people, Paddy Maloney, you changed Paddy's name on it. You took Paddy's name off and put your name on again because you're so narcissist. Because you want to look at me, I'm the best off. You never written the book. Paddy Maloney written his own books. He's a great lad, Paddy. He said Paddy was calling me. Paddy phoned me in the hospital and said, "You're a big fella. I think the world, you know, mate. I love you, I love you, Paddy." He said, "I've just got out big fella. I've just been bad. He's been bad." I went, "Paddy, how long have we been friends?" He said, "Well, must be 30, 35 years, right? When have I ever called you? When have you ever heard me call you or your family?" I went, "Never." "And when have I ever called you, Brian?" I said, "Never." I said, "Well," he said, "Well, we know, you've proved to us all." Paddy said, "It's been him all along. Definitely been him." So it took us all a while to work it out. It didn't take me a while. I worked it out. We always doing, playing them little games, conquer and divide people, trying to get him with Richie Horsley, and he had all them hoodwinked, but they really believed him. You know, but I believed him at first when I met him. Just people threatened him from like up Stokes, and I was going to see him saying, "Oh, leave him alone." I said, "He's fucking daft, he's drunk," and he was like, "I'm just using the excuse," but I helped him. I even cleaned his house one day. I came in, it was filthy. It was the first time I did an interview. And it was pizzas and parmesans and shit, everything all over. I hate dirtiness, mate. So, like my mum's Scottish people are fucking spotless. So I went and I cleaned his whole kitchen up in about 2 hours to do it. I went, fucking hell, the taxman's cleaned all my house. Oh, God, he's cleaned everything up. He said, "Can you believe it? The hardest man in Britain's cleaned my house." He said today, did the speech on his phone, on the, when you're talking on the, like I'm doing now. He said, "Brian's cleaned all my house today." Not all the kitchen and the dining room I cleaned. It was disgusting, but put all these clothes in the washing and all the washing in. The colours were different ones and the whites and all that. So I said, he was going to put everything in at once. I said, "You ruin it. That pink will run with the white things." I said, "Put the white ones in first." And I did all the washing for him and put them in dryers and stuff. Did all that. Sat there 4 hours fucking helping him. And this is the thanks he gets. When I asked for invoices, I said, "Jamie, do us a favour, mate." I said, "I need to know how many with the invoice." I said, "I get the same off John Blake Publisher every 6 months. And it tells you how many books have been printed and how many books are in circulation, how many books have been sold and what price that's just for like tax purposes." He said, "Yeah, no problem." He said, "You can trust me explicit." I said, "I do trust you explicit, but I still need that paperwork so I can show what I've had in case the bank gets on me or whatever." So nothing. So I asked him again. So the 3rd month, I said, "If you don't ask for this next one, I'm going to have to go to court." So that's when I went for the pre-action disclosure in January 2021, I think it was. Yeah, 2021, I think it was, yeah. And we went to court, and then he recorded that hearing and pretended that he walked free for the magistrates, where the magistrates is a criminal case, where the civil case is in combination of the Crown Court and the civil cases together, and it's dealt by Crown Court judges. So Shirley went, I'm a legal secretary. Well, you can't be that clever, Shirley, because you didn't know the difference between legal court and civil courts. That's how thick you are. But I asked you to give me the invoices. You would give me the reason why it was detrimental to you, because it would have proved that you would be a lot more money. And when you turn around and said the book's go nuts, it's the bestseller, I thought, well, how do you only get £134 for a full month's selling? When you first get a book and it comes out, it sells mad for the first 6 months, and then it slows down. First year you get good money off it, then it slows down. So why did I only get £134 that month for the book and the Kindle? Doesn't make sense. Just lies all the time with you. We sold thousands of copies. If that sold 5,000, so sold 1,000 copies. I think it was 480 a book, say £5 a book. That'd been £5,000. 5 times 1,000, like that. So £5,000. So you just tell lies, because it was like £5. So I was making £5. I sold 1,000 books with £5,000. So how was it a bestseller when I only got 134 quid? I've got all the proof. When you first showed me the stuff, and then when they asked for the invoices, that's what I said, can't be right, this. I said, well, he's having me over. And I phoned him, he was watching Rocky. I'm watching Rocky, I can't be bothered. You don't understand what he thought, because I've got dyslexia. But you know yourself, people with dyslexia have got other gifts. I'm a genius with numbers. I was dealing with millions of pounds with the fucking drugs, allegedly, in the fucking late 80s and 90s. I had all the rave clubs all boxed off all over Tayside. I was working with every fucker. So how could I not work numbers out? And that's what I did. I was dealing in cars and everything and business stuff. And you were trying to outwit me, because you worked in Tesco's as a trolley pusher, you worked in Aldi's as a trolley pusher, you worked in fucking Sports Direct selling sports clothes, and you laughed at me because I wear Adidas clothes. Well, the reason why I get Adidas clothes, Jamie, because Nike aren't as big, and Adidas, you get a 3X large Adidas, but you don't get a 3X large on anything other things. So that's why I get the American shirts, because the American shirts are 5X large and probably about 3X large now. But I was a 5X large years ago, so that's why I get the American football shirts, because they're a lot bigger, and it saves you fucking about looking about for it. You just order it or go to Teesside Park, get them. They're about 40 quid a shirt. Or you can go to get them from America sent over. So I get them. I've got about 30 different ones, and they're easy to wear, nice and thingy for going to bed and things like that. But that fucking idiot, all we tried to do was help him. I got him off the drugs for about 2 weeks. He just couldn't stay off them. He's phoning up and phoning them on off his head. But you can't help some people, can you? My mum says, no matter what, some people just can't be helped, son. You can only meet people halfway if they want to be helped. Don't forget 85 thumbs up. Don't need another 15. Bum fanani, folk fanani. Had your life. I love all them old songs. I'll sit upstairs with them, I'm dancing on the bedroom and boxing. Every shot I throw is right on his fucking chin and boom. I fucking catch you with them. Get up, you fucker. Right, this kid one night outside the club where Stephen Sayers was there. He was a middleweight boxer. He fought for England. This kid, he was fucking doing me napping. You know, I'd probably beat you because I'm a lot faster anyway. I said, Stephen, your nephew. I thought he said he was his nephew. I went, your nephew's getting on my fucking tits. And I said, Michael, he went, not my nephew. I went, here, you daft cunt. He went, yeah, no, then. Anyway, he tried to throw a punch and jump back, and I went, slap. I hit him, palm of the fucking head. He caught him here, and he's headed them. Do you know them green railings where you stand and you walk round when you come out of pubs and that, or when you're at school? He's headed up with them, knocked him clean out, and they're going, fucking hell, he's knocked him out with a slap. The lad was about 14 stone or something. And he took his fucking head off. That's when Stephen said, fucking knock you clean out with the slap. And he said, I've seen him pick 20 stone men up and throw them through car windscreens. 20 stone, he said, on Sean Atwood. So why would these people tell lies in Vulture and people like fucking what he said? It's not me saying it, it's these people like McIntyre. Brian Cockerill is still alive 30 years and he's still taxing. How the fuck can he live that long and get away with it that long? Because they have that much bottle. And I wouldn't give up in fights, like in the one with the man in the shed, all jumped, 14 of them. I was still fucking standing, like to put me down. It took me a long time to put me down, but I still got back up. And I was still wanting to fight the fuckers. And even they said it. He said he wouldn't give in. He just would not give in. But if you give in, you die. You've got to keep fighting to every fucking mince morsel and you're gone. And even if you're dead game, aren't you? Because you fought to the death. So I'd rather be out there fighting, or I got out and see the first time I remember locked the door, the second time I was out the door, you see me getting out. Stephen went mad with me, what are you fucking doing? I said, fuck him. Anyway, I went out and they'd run like fuck to themselves the second time. I went out again the third time. They stopped coming after that. When I went out the 3 times, they stopped coming. Because they know I didn't give a fuck. But they've been dealt with them. They've been dealt with. And that's why he didn't come back, because he knows what they've had. He might get, he's thinking. So that's what's happened. Hockey shirts are cool, big size too. Yeah, that's what I get at all. American football shirts and the hockey shirts. Do you know what? Some of them might be hockey, I'm not sure, mate. But they're easy to wear, aren't they? For me, I'm nowhere near as big as I was, but I'm getting there. I'm about 19 stone, 2 pound. I think I am now. I think it was 19 something yesterday. I'm catching you up, Papa. I'm catching you up. I'm warning you. I'm going with Papa. I'm going to do with him on the 31st, I think it is. They all want to take pictures of me and pay me and all that. I'm not really fucking bothered about getting paid. I'll probably give it to charity if I get paid. But they want me to go to it too. All the travellers down that way, Bradford and Birmingham and fucking Doncaster and fucking York and all that, all want me to go down. They all want to meet the taxman. It's like everywhere I go, people recognise me in streets and in pubs and in clubs. And then we were around there one night, me and Bobby, and it was the kids who got off school. They were like college students. There's about 23 of them. And they're walking around. There was a couple of Asian kids and a couple of young black lasses, and there was a couple of Chinese lasses. So I could tell they were all college students. It was about 11 o'clock at night. Can we get a picture? I said, who's going to ask me first? And the little Asian kid, you're the hardest man in the world, and he went, no. I said, allegedly. He was laughing his head off. So I went, can we get a picture of you? So I got them all. No, we want one each. I went, you would ask for one each, wouldn't you? So anyway, Bobby, I stood there, I got a picture of every one of them, every one of the kids, and they loved it, absolutely loved it. And that there, they'll go and tell the mums and dads and things like that. So I was seeing Brian Cockerill, and he gives the picture. He was a lovely man, but he would walk away because he couldn't wait to get back to sniff his shit. Where me, if I can help anyone, what I'm like, if I can help anyone anywhere, I'll go up my way to do it. You did 111 on, 89 thumbs up. Freedom's a great lad. Cartman's a great lad. Sign page. Watchdogs, good lad. All good people in here. Follows me around. He follows me around. Weirdo. Blue moon. You've got me staying alone. That was the Shwaddy Waddy, that number 1. Come to Hartlepool. I never got in, but I was only about 1977 when I come to Hartlepool, Shwaddy Waddy. I looked after them I looked after Mud, I looked after basically Rose 4 times. They were nice lads. He was with his girlfriend, but one of them just died. I think 3 have died in the last year or so, 2 years. Great band, them, fucking marvellous. They were a band now, they were like the Beatles in the 70s. You know what I mean? That's what they were like, fucking massive. We're all from, I think, they're all Scottish. I think they're all from Edinburgh, I think. Aberdeen, Edinburgh, something like that they were from, all of them. 2 brothers. It was 5 in the band. Yeah, they took the world by storm. Big, massive boots they had like that. Fucking used to wear them in the 70s. Did Graves respect always. Hope you and family doing good. Hugh Hardberg, not me, know that. He's Scottish. You didn't know that, did you? No, Steve Mac sounds Scottish, but he's not. I love Steve Mac. Now his daughter, I'm scared of her. I love it a bit. She can fucking fight. All I have to if he gets up to any bullshit, all I do is phone his daughter and say, give him a bat. You fucking knock him out. His daughter's lovely, she is. Carol's daughter and his daughter, best of friends since they're kids. Well, they're still kids anyway, but they both can fight for fun. I don't know if them two are on, you fucking better run. I'm not joking, the both of them would tear fucking tinfoil to pieces. Emma would tear tinfoil to pieces. Emma's right hand, I've taught her out of box now. She's not scared of no fucker. So I taught her out of box and I've taught her how to throw a left foot and a right hand over the top. I'm telling you now, she hits you with that right hand, you fucking don't care if you're fucking Mike Tyson, you're going down. The power in her, fucking, she used to be an Olympic swimmer. No, she used to swim for the county. She get up at 4 in the morning, go from there to the Billingham Baths and swim. Her legs are fucking solid. I'm not joking. Her legs are like fucking tanks, you know, not an ounce of fat on her legs. They're fucking honest. You can tell she's an Olympic swimmer because of her arms and everything, and her shoulders are huge. But yeah, she can't have fucking pull. She'd take his fucking head off. She's told him off for a load of times. And Shelley started getting cheeky one night. She went, hey, don't get clever with me. I fucking looked after myself since I was 14 and a half. She said, my mum passed away when I was 14 and a half, and I had to fucking look after myself. You're very easy, Shelley. You've had a fucking silver spoon in your fucking mouth. So don't try and bully me with your shit. Don't try and bully me with you. Oh, you're bullying me. She said, I'm getting the police. Fucking Shelley Pink Knickers. I don't do that. I don't know you call that because it just rhymes, but I don't know what the fuck colour they are, but he's probably got the money. He likes the pink. Jamie Pink shot. Oh, Jamie Pink shot. Okay, no. That's what I've had to give me a boost. It's what I get out of the Tesco. Do you want to give you there for training and that? But I have it before I come on the show to keep you awake. That's all I need. So I'm that pure. A mouthful of that, a couple of mouthful of that. It's like I'm fucking like fucking Batman. 90 on now. Come on. Where's your mama gone? Where's your mama gone? Well, I hate the travellers racing on the road. My mate got killed not long ago. Fucking does me head in. I hate it when he come off, got killed in a fucking the trap. It's called the trap. Got killed in it. George Foreman was fucking brilliant. He's got about 8 kids called George. They're all called George. George, what? You'd be fucking head battered, wouldn't you? He won the title of 45-year-old. I love George. He's fucking class. He's a man of God. Lovely man. That fight, they were fights when he had with Muhammad Ali. Fucking hell. I told Muhammad Ali he got brain damage through that fight. I really believe it was that fight. Rumble in the Jungle and in Zaire. Them 2 fights were the worst fights he had. It was the close he come to death, Muhammad Ali said. Fucking, you like, no, imagine in like 50 degrees, the heat, and 100,000 people there thinking in the jungle. Fucking hell, they're doing 15-minute rounds. 15 fucking 3-minute rounds. Fucking hell. Unbelievable. Getting battered, and George was the first of the big uns. There was another one years before, a black lad, he was fucking massive. Like the black and white days, you know, in the thing. But George Foreman was the first of the big uns. And Muhammad Ali knew for the first time, I can't fucking bully this one. And he's fucking strong and he's powerful. So he used the rope-a-doper. He was an old saying, he used the ropes, and he got away with it. But I think it deteriorated his brain. I think that them punches of George Foreman, 18.5 stone, fucking 18.5, 19-inch arms he had. He was a naturally big fucking monster, he was. And now he's probably one of my favourite fighter was Vander Holyfield, because he was never the best fighter, but for heart. I mean, when he had the fights with that big Daddy Bo and things like that, fucking hell, he had some heart that. And then he did the same with 2 fights with Mike Tyson. He fucking destroyed Mike Tyson. He used his brain. He's a very, very methodical, another man of God. And when you listen to him, I never thought in a million years Tyson would have lost. I really thought Tyson would knock him out in the first 2 or 3 rounds. And when you listen how he done it, he kept coming to the side and he kept squaring him off and push. When you're squaring somebody off, somebody's like that and they throw a punch at you. But if you square them off with your shoulder and lean with your shoulder, that's why I used to do it a lot, because of my size. You use my size, push them forward like that, then they can't set the feet. If your feet aren't placed properly and somebody pushes you off balance, what a lot of people do, most people can only throw a straight right hand. Most people can't throw a left hook, and they can't throw it. All can do. So what they do is they put the left foot forward, they'll slide the right foot behind them, and they'll try and do that. So all you do is you cut them off and go square on. If you're 24 stone, they're 16, you've got no chance of pushing you back. So I used to do that a lot of times, and then I'd push them like that, push my elbow. I like fighting pub better against the walls, because once I got them against the wall, they couldn't get away. I'd fucking just pulverize them. But I'd use that. I'd push my hand on the head and then throw a right uppercut underneath it. And then if I missed with that, I'd throw one that side and then left over the top, and that would be it. Be gone. If any of them shots hit, they'd be gone. And Peter Owen, he was there when that fucking power and that left hook, that left uppercut there's unreal. You've just lifted him off his fucking feet there, and you only threw it from 5 inches. And Richie Ossie's the same. I don't know, you can generate that much power in just one fucking that. I was like Steve Maxton, I was just gifted. I wasn't trained by any fucker or nothing. till later on. I was just gifted because I fought all my life since I was a kid on the streets, like a bit like Tyson Fury, like a bit like Mike Tyson. I was never in his league of boxing, but street fights totally different. If you grab hold of someone and they're the best boxer in the world, once you get them in a bear hug on the floor and you're on top of them, they can't beat you because strength always wins on the floor. Strength and fitness always wins. Oh yeah, buddy, it's Sherbet. I'm waiting for Swanee Savannah fight. Oh yeah, I think the tickets are a bit dear, aren't they, for the fight? Somebody said. Stick to the road. Keep off the road. Remember that film? Keep off the moors. Remember not Scotland. It was in fucking Wales, I think it was. Keep off the moors. Remember the fucking American Werewolf in London? That was good. That film, even though it was shite, it was still good. That's what it was like when I used to go on pubs with Duffy. They'd be playing darts and that, and everyone would go. The record would go, and everyone just stood there. It was fucking hilarious. And we used to go in. But everyone got on with us because we were always off our fucking heads, jumped around dancing. He had me fucking under me, that fucking like Duffy. Fucking got me on the edge, didn't he? Fucking paranoid the fuck I was. I thought he was going to beat me up here. Now I'm not being able to protect. He's all planned this. I know he's done it. Then he come over and started giving me cuddles and kissing me, going, "I love you, you big cunt." And then he said, "Oh, we will let's have a dance." And he was doing this fucking Cossack dance. And then he was going down on one leg and jumping back up. And then Teddy Dick will come here, and I'm off me fucking head like that at the bar. My eyes are like a fucking ding, 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 like a fruit machine being paid out. I'm like, what's going on? All these lights are flashing and everything. Never had a fucking X-ray in my life. And I stood there and going, what's going fucking on? I had these things called biscuits and they had a bit of smacking, I think. They were fucking Scousers, no wonder. Came from Liverpool. So I think they had a little bit of brown stuff in. So I think it was smack. So next minute you're like going all funny and bubbly and like, fucking hell, man. Anyway, I'm in there with him. And I was, boy, I'm trying to do these dances and all the fucking stuff. So that was fucking hilarious. And then Rob Suggett come in. And then Dave Woody come in. All them lot, fucking bishops and that, Flea. You know, we used to have a great time. Emma would come in and see me. And we used to be out me, Lee. I mean, Lee Emma knew Lee well. We knew him well. And he was always polite to Emma. Really polite, obviously, because she went out with me. And he was always polite to Emma. And he was always polite to every girl. I'd never seen Lee Duffy out with women. Like, he was a man's man. You know, he'd like be with the lads and that. But he wouldn't let Chubby Brown's the same. He won't let you swear Chubby in front of women and kids. He's very, very polite. He doesn't like all I said. All I do this is on the show, on stage. I don't do this behind. I don't do this when I'm at home, and I don't do it in pubs. I've been with him. I used to train in the same gym as him. I used to go to his house with George Fawcett and Barry Gardner. He had a house near Lock Park in Redcar, and he done it all out. And he bought these tellies called Banger and Lofson, I think they're called, guys. Somebody will probably know Banger and Lofson. I think they were Swedish tellies that they put like $3,000 a telly, and this is fucking 30 odd year ago. And he bought them out of Barebecks. That's the one we used to go rally driving where he's saying, I'm lying about the rally driving. I never said I was a professional rally driver, you fucking moron. You always try to embellish shit bigger, don't you? I said he used to go. Sean Day used to go with Lee. And we used to go up there and the teachers out with left foot brake and overstay, understay and all that. I was never a top rally driver. I couldn't be a top rally driver because I was 24 stone, you fucking moron. And all the other drivers, like Colin McRae, he's the best. He was the best in the country. He was from Lanarkshire. They're about 6-7 stone. Like pilots. They're all 6-7 stone, them fighter pilots. They're only tiny because they need to be in there for the you can't have somebody. I was going to go parachuting. They said, you can't. You can. I think 17.5 stone. The most. I was going to go with Gary Carterrell, and he said, yeah, you can only go 17 stone, big fella. You're too big. But yeah, Gary come to stay with us as well. We had a good night with Gary. He's just the same. There's only one big behind. I need bother. You know, the good lad. Carol Curtis, there she goes. Down 3 times and boom. Ahead. Peter Ho used to work big bird eagle on his shoulder sometimes. Yeah, he did from Eston, mate. You're right. Lovely lad, Peter Ho. Lovely lad. He used to have these. He said, come on, big fella. I used to do 3 threes, or 6 threes, 10 twos, and I'd do 10 ones on the pads. And then he looks, you need to do like 20-minute rounds. I'm fucking 20-minute rounds. So Peter Ho said the same to me. So he said the same, Manny Bill, and then fucking he said the same, John Black, because you might know anyway. So then I started doing 20 rounds. Fucking I started off, I could get to 7, then I got to 12 and 15, and it took me a little bit longer to get to anyway. I was doing just 1 20-minute round once a week, he said, just to keep ready, even once a fortnight. Once you've done it, you know, you can do it. So in case you fight loads of people and then come off where I've been fighting, when I fight for pro boxers, there's a difference between fighting pro boxers. They've got that much skill and that, but the strength again is what makes me win, because my strength is just too much to tie them up. Lewis Wall said, when you fight Ryan Cocker, if he gets older, you're fucked. If he catches you, you're fucked. But if once he gets older, he's that strong and just rag you around like a ragdoll, he'll fucking destroy you. He is same, he's some man him. He's some man, that's what he used to say all the time. Great lad, he was one of the best bare knuckle fighters going. Lewis, Steve Mackle have confirmed that. Ben. Round speckles, yes, Gravy, you're right. Yeah, little round speckles, fucking hell, off my fucking head. Heavy Gary's them. Heavy Gary's them. Oh, Heavy Gary, I know what you mean, yeah. Fucking meaty. Made you acted like down. You like one minute you sit there and the dance floor's all and it's going boom, it's flying off like the dance floor, fucking flying. What the fuck? And then the people go boom and just fly off the air. Definitely got smacking them. We came from Liverpool, like I said. I had the best ones ever called Doves were brilliant, but the best ones I ever got were called barrels. They were tiny little legs, tiny, like a saccharin, even smaller. I thought, well, I'll have 2 of them, very fucking tiny. Oh, I took one about 6 o'clock at night, and I said, right, we want the rave. He said, Brian, it's for 3 o'clock in the morning. I was cabbaged all the way through from 6 at night till in the morning. I jumped out in a fucking 2.8 Super. I was going round the roundabout about 40 times. The cops were going round and then stopped there and stopped there. I was just going round. I was off me fucking handbrake, turning the car and everything. And went back to Paddy's, my mate, on Garvey Street. And they all come round, about 20 different cop cars. I went, fuck off, you daft cunts. And all that. I drew out the window, shoot you black cunt, screaming at them. Because they were petrified to come on the estates them days, because people just would brick them with fucking bricks and everything. And I had kids like on BMX bikes, you know, like 16-year-old working. And I used to have, not phones, radios. We had the radios in, yeah, we'd have codes on radios for if they came in. We'd be counting the little fellas out. We'd have none less than 10 in a bag. There'd be 10 bags, there'd be blue bags, there'd be red bags, there'd be 20 in. There'd be green bags, there'd be 30 in. There'd be whatever, paper bag, the plastic bag would have 100. So then you knew that they were all different sections for different people. And you'd have somebody's name like 2 pound. So £2 potatoes would be 200 for Paul. Potatoes would be cast as Peter or Paul or something. So you'd have the codes on there. So the cops would just shop, you'd have 200, such and such I'm getting. Or apples, you put like 100 with apples. And you'd see, well, that would be somebody else. Apple would just say Angela. So you know it's theirs because she gets them every Friday. So, and then what you get what you used to do is you give your gear out, say on the Wednesday, they'd count them out and put them in sections for their stuff. They'd then go to their people to give them out. And then they'd go to their people to give them out. And then you get paid on the Saturday. You get paid on the Sunday and the Monday. And then the Tuesday, you get them back and you get them back out on the Tuesday or the Wednesday night. So then people would have time to go out, because the people used to go out with the Thursday and take them still. But never got much on a Tuesday or a Monday wasn't too bad. Sunday didn't get a lot because people were just going home to go to bed after they'd been raining for 2 days. So you give them out on, I say, Tuesday, Wednesday, so it gives them days to get out. But I always used to have double, so I never ran out. Allegedly, these we're talking about Smarties, chocolate Smarties, Maltesers. So it was never no fucking trouble. There was a couple of fights, you know, like that, but it was never nothing like I never could sort it out. It was all easy. And I was working with people from Bradford, and I was working with people from all over the country, London, everywhere. That's what I'm saying. I've got connections all over the fucking world. And that idiot went to war with me, fucking little muppet. War. Threw a few fucking things at me, window and ran off. That's not a war. That's just a scratch. You fucking idiot. I'm still here. I'm still in my own house. You've gone. Hiding like a little shitbag. Windmills. Yeah, they were called, these ones I made the names, they were called barrels. It was actually double barrels. There was these little tiny ones, like little tiny eggs. So I called them barrels. I was going to call him after the police officer's name. I won't mention his name, the one, but I was going to call him after him just to fucking do his head in. Oh, they hated me. I had that Halliwell. He was here as well. He was another fucking one from Leeds way. He wasn't too bad, him, to tell you the truth. The other ones were bent as fuck. He wasn't bent. The rest were fucking horrible. Yeah, you know where you were at with the fucking things. And then you got them other ones, what were they called? The Dubs. Right. I know, Brian, I shot you, and I stabbed you. I know 20 of us jumped you. I know we hit you with hammers and with bars. But, and I know you shot me back. I know you fucking petrol bombed me house. I know you fucking burnt my car out. I know you fucking you battered me with hammers and all that. But I love you, mate. I'll give you a cuddle. Everyone was just fucking cuddling each other off their heads on fucking eight. They were all fucking off their heads. There was no trouble in the club to fuck all. So the cops let us just do what we wanted because they thought there's 2,000-3,000 people in the eclipse he's got. He's got 2,000 in the Colosseum. He's got so many in the fucking Blazers and Birches. There's probably 5,000 people in raves, what I was running at the time. And it was easy, and you'd get the little things for about different prices. I started getting them at sevens, and I got them down to £2 in the end with these biker lads from I won't say which area. I saved them a load of money. They got taxed off someone. This when I got the £10,500 back, and they wanted to see me. And I went down and seen them. They were fucking crazy, these fuckers. I never actually went where they were, but my mate went, who worked for me from this area, from Stockton. And he went, and he got there. It was a big, massive fucking house in the countryside, like an old, like a fucking Victorian house, massive, and I mean massive, like a hotel. And there were fucking bikers, were fucking Uzis, and fucking there was 3 barrels, and it was like you could get pink champagne, which was all it was speed with fucking food colouring, and then there'd be yellow one, pretending it was this price. So you'd say the white one is more. No, the white one was less money, but it was all the same stuff. All you do was you get the fucking pink stuff in, shake it around in the bag, thing it, and make it into pink champagne. So the white one you'd get, say, just to talk it, £3,000. The yellow one you'd get 3,002, and the pink one would be like 3,006 or 3,007. That'd be £500 more. It was £2 to put the pink food colouring in, and people psychologically went, "Oh, but the pink champagne smells better." It was the exact same stuff. It was just a different cut and colour, and the fucking idiots were paying £600 more for the same stuff. And I'd say, which one do you think's the best? Look, they'll go like that with the white one. Gives you a couple of minutes. Take the yellow one. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, try that one. Oh, yeah, that one's the best. But it was all the fucking same. Yellow food colouring. What you get for cakes? That's all it was. £2. Well, wasn't even, I think about £1.30 or something for each one. And so you're getting £600 more for put £1.30 with the food colouring in the fucking bag. Fucking crazy people. And then the other ones were doves. So we had the doves, but they weren't real doves. We used to get the doves. You had to get them from Holland, and they'd come through on the airplanes. You used to drop them off in an airplane. I wasn't that big. Get them dropped in an airplane. The people I worked with was, and they'd get them dropped over in airplanes to different places, you know, and you get your stuff. But you'd have to buy maybe 40,000, 50,000, which I was capable of buying that many allegedly. And I put them away, and I had my stuff put in safe places. But you get these daft cunts, they'll buy it, and then they'll go from the same house in the same car and go to the same house as all fucking way. Cops just watch them, and they'll just track them and go, right, he's got to number 52 Mulberry Street. He's gone to Liverpool at 4:55 to that street. He's gone to that place in Manchester. Then they know exactly where you're at, so they'll just hit all them houses at the same time, radiating. Or somebody's crashed me up. No, you've crashed yourself up because you're doing the same MO every fucking day of the week. So the cops watch you. 2 months, I think it's about 2 months of operation they have on you, and that's all they'll have. I think sometimes it's only 10 days. It depends, unless you're doing something. But they'll put operation on. They used to call it when the IRA was winding down. The government decided to bring the MI5 and they decided to have National Crime Squad and Regional Crime Squad in the 1994, 95, and every town would have, like the colonies in the stairs would say Newcastle would there be targets there, but they were the biggest players up there. The biggest one down was just me. It was only me. It was me, Bam Bam, worked for me, Speedy, all them type of people. So I had the whole of the Teesside boxed off. The other people do bits and bobs, but 90% I'd say worked for me. Because the thing was, the others used to get the E from, say, Manchester, Liverpool, and exact, but they couldn't sell it in the clubs because I had the clubs. I owned the clubs. Or I worked for the people who owned the doors. And most of the clubs I owned, I had percentages of the clubs. I used to get like so much money off every door. I'd get £1 a man for everyone who went in, or £2 a man. My own club I owned, it was called the Heaven Club. There's still pictures of it now. If you put it in, the Heaven Club, Brunswick Street, Stockton, you'll see my club. I owned that club. And he had them clubs, like I say, and it, the money was fucking ridiculous. You could take sometimes 50 grand in a weekend on the door. That's how big it was. It was fucking, that's just some one door. Then you had all the other doors. Then you had the Grangetown Rave.
You'll have to shout hello to Steve Shannon.
Oh, yes, Steve Shannon. I hope you're okay, son, if you're watching. We love you. And send us a VO and we'll come and see you. He's just got jailed the other day, so I'll have to go and see him. He's one of the ones who'll come straight out for us, him and Steve Mack and Carl and people like that, and Big Pat Robinson. All they come up. There was fucking hundreds of people knocking on my door to do that. Couldn't, and they all wanted to do them. The serious one. I said, no, I can't do it. If I do that, I won't be a Christian no more. I said, I'll turn me back on God. I said, no, I won't be able to live myself. So he used his own destiny of his own fucking thing. So he's working now in a fucking job in a factory somewhere, in a chemical factory, but he's trying to play it down now. So we know you're in desk. We know you're working in there because people have seen you. You daft cunt. You've been seen getting dropped off by fucking Shirley fucking shit house Shirley, shit house rat. I found the place, Shirley, I'm banging on you. I'm getting you arrested. Fucking divvy. Don't even know the difference between. You don't even got a clue what you're fucking talking about, Shirley. You talk absolute shit. Legal secretary. You work in the fucking City Advice Bureau and you answer the phone for the gas department. You're a legal secretary. Why are you in this much trouble? Why have you fucking bankrupt? Why are you gone bankrupt? Why is all your shop? Why is all your books taken down? You're a legal secretary. Why is all your fucking your so-called business deals? Where's your Paul Sykes movie? It's been gone for 10 years. Where's the fucking big thing you're coming out with the next few months? What you've been shouting about? Big massive thing. Where's this? Where the fuck does Jack the Ripper live in Middlesbrough? Because I've never heard. I've asked every cunt I know Middlesbrough. No one knows where Jack the Ripper lives. Well, the fucking he goes to London for the weekend. He does an hour Ripper tour and he solves the Ripper fucking murders. 144-year-old murder that no fucking police force in the whole of the world has tried to solve it for the last 150 years nearly. He goes down, as Emma would call him, our national treasure, Jamie Boyle, and solves it in an hour. But he doesn't tell us. He says Jack the Ripper is from Middlesbrough because the clipper ships, they used to bring tea back from, you know that old saying, not for all the tea in China. Well, that's saying what that means is when you come back in a clipper ship, in the bottom of it, you'd have the tea or sugar or whatever, you'd have different places, you'd have different things on different clipper ships. But from China, it was tea. They'd bring it back, so the first ship back would get, say, £10 or whatever. And the next ship would only get, say, £5. The next ship would only get £3. So you'd have to get the first one back would get the most money. And you used to get a thing called the bill of sales. And you'd get that before you left the dock. But she thinks she knows about the law. She knows that fucking much. He's in the shit. He's lost the books. He's lost the documentaries. He's lost the audios. The audios are gone. I'm getting the audio back in the next few. I'll get the audio book back in the next week or two. I'll be getting it back. I promise you now, I'm getting it back. and Marty's is going to get his book back because Kevin Brown's already got all the stuff there off the courts to prove it was Marty's book because Marty's book was in the vault, still in the vault. So I'm going to get hold of Marty's grandson and get him to phone his son, to phone Kevin to see what's happening and see if they can get the money. And then that'll go back to the just deserts where it belongs, not to that greedy, horrible little thing he is. So that old man, he tortured that old man. It kills me, you know. I can take it, but he was upset, really upset. And he'd have tears in his eyes. He'd come and he keeps saying to me, porn things, you know, Brian, I'm not into this type of stuff. And if I get caught with this little thing, I'm a nonce, you know. I said, he's doing it to do your fucking head in. He's fucking horrible. And he was sending him these pictures of women and all sorts because he'd borrowed his phone when we went to see Sean Atwood. I mean, the Wild Man, he tried to call me on the show, and the Wild Man, Brad wouldn't do that. You know, putting that in, he said, and he told him off. Wild Man, God bless him. The Wild Man was a lovely person, you know, and he told stories about Brian. There was only 3 names: Brian Cockerill, Duffy, Biv Graham. They were the biggest names in Teesside. And when Lee went and Viv, there was right left, he said, but they all loved him. Even the old people in the streets will come up to him and greet him, oh, can you help us with this? And you'd help people. Jamie Boyle, private detective, laugh out loud. James Garner, remember James Garner? I used to write that, the Rockford Files. Only rock he's on is the fucking rock where he's sniffing. Imagine him in a fucking chemical factory. I think what it is, I've talked to people who know about this stuff. It doesn't have to be chemicals where toxic where you breathe them in. Like it could be a place where people, you put all the old batteries because that's toxic, isn't the batteries off cars and stuff, or somewhere there's a spillage where they take it. So it could just be stuff like that. It's not a place where he's making stuff, and that place is about 10.35 to £11 an hour. So look how the mighty have fallen from making a £2 million movie, and he gets 2.5% of 2 million. He's a fucking crime. As if they're going to give him fucking, what's that, £500,000, £500,000 to you for a movie. You're fucking delusional. You are. Your absolute shit just comes out your mouth. 2.5%, isn't it? It's 2.5. Is a million is 250,000, isn't it? Am I right or wrong? Is it 25? You might be right. Above the commercial pub. Above the commercial pub. I don't know what that means, mate. Gaming by a private detective. Yeah. Yeah, just lies about everything. Scissorhands is the true story. Well, tinfoil fucking listen. Tinfoil's a true story, right? And if you've written it and fucking put it out there, there's no way that's happened. But it's fucking real, isn't it? I've been charged for calling him tinfoil because it gives him due alarm and distress and fear. I said, well, what the fuck does it give my wife when he's going to rape my wife when I'm in hospital? And sending me messages saying, what are you going to do? You're daft cunt now. You're paralysed. I'm going to rape your wife. And I'm going to bum your dog. And I'm going to kill your dog. Scrap me. And I'm going to bum your brother. So what do you think that give my wife, Miss Shirley Pinkdickers?
Is that yours?
Yeah, it's mine. Shirley Gobshite. So stop pretending Shirley hasn't got the job in the place. What he's doing, it could be asbestos, just for instance, asbestos, which is very bad. He'll be mixing sulfuric acid off the batteries with asbestos, chopping it up and fucking sniffing it. He'll be sniffing the cunt. He'll have a line of fucking sulfuric acid and fucking, he'll make his own drug, tinfoil drug. So how the fuck can tinfoil make you scared? What does like green lighter? He called me green lighter now. Hey, green lighter. Okay, now. Earwax. I'll do you in with the earwax. I mean, I'll get charged for earwax. Earrex. Earrex. He's fucking barmy, isn't he? Well, there's his mate there, Blue Shark. Fucking Paul Sykes knocked the shark out and carried it down the beach. Unbelievable. 97, thumbs up. What are you doing?
No, this one. Can't find it though. What do you mean? What would you?
Carol, are you okay, Carol? Savannah lost. That loss to Shields. Yeah, Shields was. We had Savannah on the show, as you know, and really nice girl from Hartlepool, but I didn't realise how good that Shields was. She got, no disrespect, I love it a bit, but she got obliterated. She had no head movement or nothing. She didn't have no fucking. She wasn't placed the feet properly. She wasn't. There was no. It was just. She was just picking her up every fucking shot. She was just like toying with her. She's good. That Shield, like gobshite, but she's good. But it's like Maybe any gobshite, Mount Delhi, gobshite. But when I'm a gobshite when I do it, I know I was the fucking best. I know I could beat anyone. I know my day could have beat anyone. You're not going to go there, well, I might have been the best. I could have been. I might not be able to beat him. No, you go your head. You go. I'm going to fucking destroy you. I would absolutely annihilate you. I never ever went into a fight thinking I was going to get beat. If you start thinking that, then you start portraying that in your brain, and it starts putting you off the fight. But the easiest fight to win, you're in a pub, and somebody bumps in you, starts wanting to have a fight, and you get into them, fight them, batter them, it's over in seconds. But when somebody's right, I'll fight in 10 weeks' time on the field, they're fucking the hard fights. Because you're in bed like that, going there, when all your friends are, I'll knock him out easy, I'll fucking spark him, I'll destroy him, I'll do this, I'll beat everyone, and you lay there and go, and the little voice on that show will go, yeah, but what if he's a pro boxer, like Brian? He's had 46 fights, he's had fucking 60 odd amateur fights. So what, having fucking hundreds of fights in the street? Yeah, but he's a professional. So you get little things in your head. And I said, do you feel sometimes like you've lost it? He went, yeah. And then I asked a few of the fighters, and they said, yeah, all fighters get that, and they think, oh, I haven't got it no more. I've lost my bottle, and you lose that little bit of bottle sometimes. But everyone gets that, and everyone has that little bit of fear when you go for a fight. But the hero has the same fear as the coward, but it's what the coward does makes him a coward, and the hero does makes him the hero. But they still have that nervous, where when you go for a wee and you have a bit of nerves, you know, like a butterfly's going around your stomach type of thing. But it's just you got to remember it's fight or flight. So you're there to fight, so you will have that little bit of nerves. If you haven't got that, you're fucking lying. Even Mike Tyson went, every fight I go to, he says, I'm petrified because I could be killed in it, and he's fucking telling the truth. Every fight you have, you've got fear. I don't give a fuck who you are. You talk me shit if you're a yarn, unless you're full of drugs and drink, and that masks it. But a clear cut, normal, and you go in and you're in a pub and somebody kicks off, it's easy because the fight's on. You don't have to think about it. But when you're thinking, say, fighting him in 6 weeks and fighting him in 10 weeks, everyone has that little thing in their head sometimes, a little creep and a little bit of doubt. But then that's what makes all fighters. Every fighter goes through that. Every single fighter. The best fighters are like Impact, man. All of them all get that. If you don't, you're not human. You're not fucking right. If you haven't got that little bit of fear, you're obviously not ready to fight, because you need that bit of fear to give you more fucking focus. It's what happens on the day when you have it. And then all the fear goes, all the nerves go, everything goes, and then the bell goes, boom, boom, boom. There's no bell in the street, but you're there and you're into it, and it's over in seconds. It's over. Sometimes I've had 11-minute fights. I've had 2 12-minute fights, and I had one 11-minute fight. But I was fighting like 20. I was 17 people in one fight, and I was fighting in the house about 12 minutes. I was fighting Dave Garth about 11 minutes outside the rave, off my fucking head. But when I went back to the second fight, I knocked him out in about 30 seconds. It was all over. But when you're fighting someone when you're off your head, you're not the same fighter, because it's not you, because the drugs are in you, raving for 3 days, drinking for 3 days, fucking popping ecstasy like fucking Smarties, and then having a fight with a professional heavyweight boxer. You can't do it. You can fight an average fighter, but you ain't going to beat some top fight, and that's the big mistake. If you think you can. Mike Tyson tried to do Douglas. It's only Buster Douglas. And the thing is, Buster Douglas was training, and he's an heavyweight, and he's a pro, and he was a Marine, and he was fit. Tyson went in, have 100 fights. Tyson would win 100 fights, but the real Tyson wasn't in that ring. His wife done his fucking head in. His mum, his stepmother, his mother-in-law done his head in. So if you're not 100% in your faculties at running, fighting, boxing, sword fencing, whatever you fucking do, acting on telly, being an actor, being a singer, if you haven't got that 100%, it's like the house of banging, in it. It never stops. And for bets and all the bets down. She's fighting another lass with all the belts, but first one never lost. Tonight she's fighting Shiv Manchester. Yeah, I'll have to give her a text to see if she's all right. I forgot to do it today. I mean, it's fucking agony. I've got no meds. Well, I've got meds, but they're not the ones that stop your pain in my side, because I don't like fucking certain ones they give you. So I'd rather do with the pain. I'm just fucking not burning up like a fucking tin foil. Fucking talking shit. So he will never he'll never ever. See, I was the first person he got to go on the shows, you know, to go into pubs and to go into clubs. And when we did that show that night, we had about 17 different places to go right across the country. My mate Rob Holloway had me place in Birmingham and all sorts. I'll get them, Big Joe Egan, all of them had been places. And because he done what he did, that daft cunt, they all went, we're going to cancel it because of the COVID. And when I phoned them up, I said, these lads from Carlisle went, well, we've seen what he's done. We can't take that chance because we're anti-knife campaign like yourself, and we're anti-drugs. So he would ruin. They're all ex-army lads. And I said, I could understand you, lads, but thank you for being honest with me. So if you come your own, with you and your wife or your brother in that, there's no problem with you, but we cannot have him anywhere near you because he will ruin you. And everyone else said the same. My mum and dad told me that my dad's 80 nearly, and my mum's fucking 76, 77. They went, he's no good for you, son. He's just going to bring you down. He's no good. I mean, Uncle Frank, Uncle Tam, Uncle John, he said, he's not even in the same breath as you. He's nothing. He said he's only using you. You're not using him. So when he phoned up and tried to get other people on, Sean Atwood can't do it. He said, not big enough name, they wouldn't be able to do nothing. And then when he phoned James English, he said, can I get the taxman? And he went, blind Cockerill. knew my name straight away, so he knew you straight away. He said, "I'm fucking joking, aren't you? You haven't got the big man." I'll be straight down. So that was on Friday, Saturday. No, yeah, it was a Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and he'll be down Monday. Came down Monday again, came here. Come in, oh yeah, big man, I need bother, son. I beat him. I'm having a bit of laughing Scottish and that. I went, who's he? I went, Dutch Davy Boyle. Fuck me, I didn't know he's a fucking smackhead. His fucking eyes are pinned to death, and I should fucking know, big fella. I'm fucking on it 7 years. You can't even have him fucking knocking around me. James, me and him sat in here, so we had poor Scrappy then. We used Scrappy as a decoy. He said, I can't have him. All that stuff every 2 minutes and all that fucking coughing up and all that shite. He said, so what we're going to do? I said, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just say the dog kicks off sometimes. If anybody comes to the dog, can you sit with him till I do this, Jamie? So we sat in here for 3 hours. Me and James did, I think, about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour show. And he absolutely loved it. He went, he gave me a cuddle. Kiss on the cheek. I love you, big bastard. You big shagger, he shouted to me. And he said, you need me anytime. You know where I'm at. Get my number off Jamie. And he wouldn't give me the number, that rotten little bastard. Oh, I've lost it and all that shite. Jealous to death if we get it in with James. Love James English. Lovely lad. And very honest about his drug addictions. And he's so honest and so likeable. Lovely human being. And then he phoned Sean Atwood. And Sean Atwood I went on Sean's. He went to me, you'll see the Sean Atwood show. If you watch it, you'll see him. He goes, it's like I know you. He said, the Wild One's been telling me about you for years and years and years, that you're the best fighter in the country, you're the best this, you're best that. He said, he knows everything about you. He said, you're Wild Man's hero. So I was Wild Man's hero because he was in all the jails up here when he got done from Liverpool, that they'd send you somewhere else because he was a big lump of lad. So he was in Durham, he was in Accrington, he was in Home House. He said, and everywhere we went, Brian's name was up here. Everyone loved him. When he was in the jails, he'd look after people, he'd look after young people, kids. He helped people on the street get the furniture back when he got robbed. So he said he's like a real life hero up there. They love him. And Teesside, he said. So when I went on, we were talking. He knew everything about me. Honest to God, he knew everything about the fights with Duffy, the fights with this one, the fights with that one. So he'd obviously bought the books and that. So he said, Sean, he said, you're his hero. He said, there's only one Brian Cockerill. Like another one said it. And then he got Stephen Sayers when he said it. So he gets jealous, you see, that daft cunt. But my stuff's done. I was doing boxing 2000, Street Fighters. I did boxing 2002 with Charlie Bronson, the legendary Charlie Bronson. Did a fight called Salty Fitness. Then I did Scottish Hard Bastards when I'm on the front cover with a fucking my gold, all my gold. I had 30 odd grand with the gold on. Couldn't have the watch on. And he had a big fucking claymore. It's funny this. So I've got the claymore, which is a sword about that big, Scottish sword. What we beat the English with. Anyway, on there, and I've got a belt, like a weightlifting belt, and I've got the sword there, and I've got a kilt on, so I'm on the front. Anyway, it's starting to rain a bit, so the next minute, 2 sets of armed response to come up. So I've got the sword out, but it's only plastic, but from the distance, the neighbours have phoned the fucking police. He's on the front with the sword, he's got a big sword. Brian put the sword down, I said, it's plastic, look, plastic. And then as at that, Steve Richardson come round the corner and fucking pulled up. He said, oh, it's a photo shoot. We've got cameramen and everything coming. And they all started laughing. The cops in the car were laughing their heads off. So I was on the front with the kilt on, and I was in a car, and it's got Taxman on it. The car wasn't my car. It was his car. It was what was it called? It was a Merc convertible. And there's one thing he said. Running around in his Mondeo. No, the documentary I did. It wasn't a fucking Mondeo, you fucking moron. It was Robbie's car. It wasn't mine or Vulture's. It was Robbie's. It wasn't Lee's. It was Robbie's car, and it was called an Alfa Romeo, you fucking thick cunt. You've never had a car in your life. You can't drive. You can't ride a motorbike. You're a fucking moron. You're not allowed to be in. That's why you can't be allowed to the machinery. You're a fucking idiot. It was an Alfa Romeo, you fucking moron. It was nothing to do with a Mondeo, you thick cunt. 3 on one ass cheek, FC on the other. It's all promo. Carlisle crew. Yeah, supposed to go to Carlisle. So it was army lads. What happened? The lad was walking down the street and he got stabbed to death, and he was an army lad. And the lad who stabbed him stabbed the wrong lad. The poor couldn't got killed. So I was going to do it. And it was going to be, I think we're getting 400 quid for that. I said, well, just give me 200 quid and keep the other 200 quid for the, I said, keep the other £200 for the army veteran thing, whatever it was, and an anti-knife campaign. and they were going to put me up and everything, but they didn't want him. So that's when he ruined it. I thought. And then when I went to the BBC, they were going to do a 3-part documentary on me, being like, as a kid, being bullied on council estates, then becoming the best fighter, and arguably the biggest enforcer in British history on the street, and then ranked in the 4th or 5th biggest gangster in British history. Well, how many all these things, Jamie, if I'm nobody, I'd only beat old wheat ladies up at the market stalls. How many all these newspapers, and Daily Mirror and the Suns and the Sport and all these other fucking magazines and all sorts, and Nuts magazines and Hello magazines and everything I was in. You've been in nothing. You fucking talk shit. But why would there be all these? Why would I be in the band O'Mahony, 40 biggest gangsters of all in that book, which is about the biggest 40 gangsters in British history from here in Ireland and Scotland and Wales? Why am I in that book? Why am I also in Ben O'Mahony's Faces of the Underworld? He's one of the biggest gangsters in British history. Because that's what I fucking did, you fucking moron. That's what I did. That's why I was up for all these murders and kidnappings and shootings over the years. Because I did it. I wouldn't be in the fucking books if I didn't do them. I'm making the stories up. How can I be making the stories up when it's all fact? You go to the Gazette and you can see all the stuff in the papers. I've got charge sheets. You've even read 7 different ones where I was charged for murder, attempted murder from 2 police officers, kidnappings, shootings, fucking armed robberies. You've seen all the fucking stuff. And he went, oh yeah, I've seen his stuff. When he says on that thing, when he's talking about the book, if you watch that thing, you'll see that bit where he's talking about the resurrection of Brian Cockerill. You'll hear him talking about me, total different version. Ask you to have a look. Go on his page. Jamie Boyle talking to Brian Cockerill about his upcoming book, and you'll hear him talking about me, what I was in the day, he said, and everyone knew him and knew where he was from and what he did in the day. And he was the biggest thorn in the police's side, but he was the police in Teesside. He was the police. But he would never hurt anyone innocent. Me and my wife love him. He's a great lad. Me and my wife think he's just like a big teddy bear. But if he got up, that's another thing he said, even though he's 54 and his best years are behind him, he said it'd be like, to beat him, you'd have to be something really special still to this day. He said, but it'd be like wrestling a wild bear. That's the exact words he says. Exact words, word for word. To beat him now, even though he's 54, past his best years, you'd still have to be something special. It'd be like wrestling a wild bear. So why am I nobody now, Jamie? Because you know why? Because I found you out, told the truth about you, and now you're trying to just with all these daft names. These said Ebenezer Greensplat. We know that's you and Shirley. We know that's you and Shirley with your bullshit. So everyone's on here. So what you're doing now is, you know, when you seriously get done in, what is going to happen to you? You will seriously get done in. I'm not saying I'm doing it, but you've caused that much trouble from Birmingham, Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales, America, all over. You've caused trouble. All over Middlesbrough, Stockton, Billingham, Hartlepool, Redcar, all these places, Leeds, Wakefield. Everywhere you've gone, you've caused trouble. London, you're at it down there now, causing trouble with people down there. It's getting into fights and into trouble. So one day when somebody's going to come up to you and seriously do you, when you'll be getting into your car with your wife or something, they'll just hack you to fuck. Because these people in my world, me 5 years ago, you wouldn't have been here now. You'd have been gone. You'd have been in bits. Because I've changed your life around. You've used my Christianity as a weapon for yourself, thinking, well, he's into God now, so he won't be able to do me. But what if I snap one day? What if I go back? What if the devil gets to me one day and I snap? You know, I'm not saying I am going to snap, because if I was going to snap, I'd have snapped by now. But the thing is, there's that many people phone me from all over the country wanting to do you in, and it's nothing to do with me. Well, that's what you've created the monster, and you are a monster. And when you're talking about laughing at children being raped, and you're on about fucking wanting to be bummed off Paul Sykes, and you want to be bummed off this one, where's the rent boys? People are incensed by that. People can't stand paedophiles and nonsense, and all you talk about is them people, and you bull them up. So now your books aren't getting sold because no one wants them. That's why you had to get a job in a chemical factory. Probably it'll be a place where, like I said, there'll be like waste stuff comes in, you know, like asbestos maybe or something, and you'll have to bag it up and clean it up and put overalls on and all that stuff. That's the type of place you'll be working in. Just like you go in Middlesbrough, but there's a dump. Stick in the dump. So you're in the dump now, Stig. Stick in the dump. So you're in the dump, you're in the dustbin. You'd be in there, skip rat. You'd be in the skip rat taking things home. Well, that'll do all that. That'll do all above the moon. That'll tell our borders. So Stick in the Dump, you like. You remember Stick in the Dump? He was a fucking tramp in the dump. That's what you like. Yes, see, if I'm lying here, something else, private island, something like so much Scousers, northeast, little different calculators. My dad book, Brian, so I remember the cover. You were wearing the kilt, yeah, right. Well, that kilt. What happened is we got on the phone. Steve Richards, he was a nice man, Steve Richards. He got on the phone. Cleveland Time TV Radio, or whatever it's called, Cleveland Radio, it's fucking called. There's 3 or 4 radio stations in Middlesbrough, and they said where the tax man was climbing up the Empire State Building at the moment because they lived like King Kong, the size of me, it was massive. And you can't get a kilt. Well, I went to buy one in you remember Bins? I went in Bins, and I was going to get a kilt back. It was going to be £400, but I was making massive money, so I thought, can I get it now, mate? And I got it on. It takes 3 weeks to come on. Fucking need it now. So I went in a fucking shop, like a joke shop, and I had the kilt like a blanket, like a shawl, it's called. So I put it around me as a kilt, and I put my weightlifting belt on, put all my gold on, like a Highland warrior, and I had the sword in my hand. And then I said the police come, and I thought I was going to fucking kill somebody with the sword. I was on the front, and they've seen the funny side of it. But 2 armed response, them 3-litre senators turned up. But everything I say, he's lying. One thing, Hartlepool and Liverpool, and Dunno. Hartlepool and that, and Liverpool's a long way apart, mate. It's about 200 miles and more. Talking to over 200 miles. Yeah, Hartlepool's definitely about 200 miles away. Then he tried to get the Zaff cunt from Cockerill to have a fight. We didn't fucking deck a ding dong, and he shit himself. Oh, you fucking scruffy cunt. You eat like that. He's got a big hole in his mouth, and it's all full of poison because he's full of crack, coke, and crack he takes. And he sucks his teeth. And I said, will you stop doing that noise? It's driving me fucking mental. And anyway, I said, look, I'll fight you anywhere you want. I'll come on my own. I'll jump on the train. You meet me at the train station. I'll out me and you. He went straight on the fucking phone and phoned the police and said, I'm getting threatened by a man called Brian Cockerill. He's threatened me to come to your house. He's going to beat me up and all that. We've got the full recording of that because he tried to get him to do it, and Decker's ass completely went out the window, shit himself. But that was before my operation scene. I was still fucking huge. I was about 22 and a half stone. But then when I had an operation, he wanted to fight me then, Decker, and so did he, and Darren G and all the others. But when they offered him out, G shit himself as well. They're all full of shit. They all know where I live. You don't have to fucking find me. It's easy to find. But these people who talk this talk, they can't walk the walk. Because you just phone up, say, oh, we'll fight you now, me and you will do what. They want to advertise it on here, shout the mouths off so they can get views. That's all it's about. And we used to fight years ago. So, right, bring your brother. I'll bring my brother and we'll have a fight. And that would be it. And you have a fight and then you'd shake hands. They might have 2 or 3 people. You might have 2 or 3 people. And I always used to take somebody with us to grab me off because I wouldn't stop hitting them sometimes. I'd really, really go to town on people, like bite the nose off and their ears off and fucking pulverize them to fucking pieces, smash every bone in the face. And I'd turn their head to the side so I'd break all the cheekbones and everything in the side of the face. But I wouldn't punch them in the mouth and the face because you break your fucking hands that way. So I'd turn the head like that and just hit them with the right hand. Like that one with Decker, but that was me, that Robbie on top of him. My punches would have pulverised his fucking skull in because I've obviously got that much more body weight. So I let it 9.5 stone beat him. So what's somebody with a decent weight? He's never fought anyone big, say. He's only fought people like small, like the Dean and Schwartz. He was only small. He was too small for him. When Decker was hitting it, it was like probably 3 punches to his 1. So he's never fought anyone with the biggest size. When he fought Gary Fair, he sparked him unconscious 1 punch. So he's not a good boxer. Like he throws the punch and he telegraphs. And what he does, he'll throw a jab. And when he goes to throw that one, he's scared because Danny Christie was catching him all the time, counter punching him. So it's just so easy to work out and because he's going to go bang like that, jab, and then stop with the right, then jump back, and then he's wide open. Yeah, all the sides open. Easy to work out. I said to Matt Legg, I said, see how he's doing this, watch him do that. When I went to the fight with my mate John Lewis, he's a good fighter, John Lewis, great lad. And he was at the ring. I was saying, left, do, dip down and throw right, feint right, and then feint for your right. Because the lad kept doing that, pulling across. So I said, feint with the right, John. So he was listening in the thing, and the next minute he's through the right, and then he's landed on his left, and then they all went, "Fucking hell, you've just said that about 20 times. You've shouted it to him, and it's fucking happened." He kept going like that with his right hand, and the lad was doing that with his head. I thought, just throw it now, feint it, because you've thrown it that many times, he's going to expect you to do it again. Throw the right hand there, and then when he comes there, just boom, left. It's like a feint. So he's going to feint with the right and land them on the left. And he did it, and John spat the lad in the ring. Fucking legs all over his legs like bandy on ice. Nice lad, John Lewis. He's a lovely. His dad was a lovely man. Eddie Lewis used to work at the doors. Great lad. And all these people, they're all like legendary fighters, great fighters. They all love me. All these top fighters, got great fighters in Middlesbrough, top fighters. And everywhere I go, I get a red carpet out. I'm a big fella. We don't know big fella. Not just they love me because I'm not a bully. I've never been a bully, Jamie. I've never been called a bully. The only you've called me a bully. No one else. You put all these stupid posts up and everything all over. But Steve Mack and all them are on here, and all the people from Teesside will tell you, like Sean Davis and all the others of the week saying, "Mine's never been a bully. Never ever been a bully. It's you who trying to create all these stupid fucking things about me with these stupid Ebenezer Green spat. No one gives a fuck. No one's interested in your shit. There's a one up today. It's got 120 comments about you calling me a spacker. There's not one person saying. One lad said, calling people spackers in the 21st century. I've got two beautiful daughters in wheelchairs, you fucking animal. They're all calling me a fucking scumbag piece of shit. Hangman. What's the hangman? Not sure, hangman. What's that stuff coming out the nose? Is that fluff? Is that coke or something? What the fuck? You're a bully. Quaver, you're a bully. Quaver's a bully now. Fucking hell, she's a girl. Fucking she'll be a bully. She's a girl, you lunatics. The North East, it's fucking wild. When he came here yesterday, Richard just said, out of all the places I've been, Steve Raffy, who talks about the fight with me and other people, and that he said, he just mentioned me, so he mentions the fights in there. He said, what was the toughest place? Was it because he did like people from America, he did people from like Russia and things like that. He said, the roughest place I've ever been is Middlesbrough. They're all fucking crazy. You go in every pub you go into, no matter what time it is, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, they're always fighting out the back. They're all wanting to fight each other. It's always straight. There's one outside, then they shake each other's hands. Then the next day they'll be out there again. They're just fucking crazy. It's the way. I've never known anywhere, he said, ever for people when they have straightness, just all the time, fist bare knuckle fighting. They're really fucking big fucking people as well, really big. He said, but they're all just mad. They all want to fight. It's like the Wild West. It's like calm down now, but when I was about, the cops said there's more people getting shot now than ever. When I was out, they said the worst crime was from 1991 when I got out till 1995 when I went to jail, was the worst crime that Teesside ever come across. There was more people getting shot and kidnapped, and more people getting chased out of the town, doors getting kicked in, people getting kidnapped, and that was going like me and Bam Bam, me and Speedy and other people. We were fucking crazy. We were doing mad things. We had Blackpool lads with us. We had people from all over the country working with us. And we do favours. Somebody from Doncaster will come up and do a job for us, and then we do a job for them. They wouldn't charge us. We wouldn't charge it. Be a favour for a favour. Somebody from London for me said, "Can you come and do this job, drive? I fight with the lad." I'd go down, bash the fucker, straightener, and then they'd for them. "Can you come and sort this lad out for me?" And that's how we'd work with each other. A bit like John Elite. I was telling John Elite, he said that's exactly how we used to do it. A favour for a favour. Gabe, Rennie, Brian, Spencer, or Crawford. I'm not too sure, mate. I'm not really up on them ones. I'd have to watch it. Once I've watched them a couple of times, I can work out the footworks and everything, and I can tell you how good. On the scaffold with Danny. Yeah, it seems I met Danny. Is that Danny Christie you're on about? I met Danny in the. I refereed the fight with him. I stopped him in the fight. Stop! Like he was going fucking trying to get the poor Gary Fairbairn going fucking stop. It was like that. And he laughed his head off. And he didn't realise, Gary. Gary said, "Brian's fucking got all nuts about you." "Oh, I'm really sorry." Danny said, "I didn't realise, big fella." He said, "Fucking didn't know. Come on, give me a cuddle thing. Love you a bit." And that he said, "Look, I said, love you too, son." That nice kid. He wasn't nasty or out, but he was really technical, good boxer, really good. really good footwork, really good. And even that fight against Dekagi, no doubt about it. And that's no disrespect to the Dougie, my friend. They had to stop that fight because they were embarrassed because he got fucking beat. He could have kept going. Danny Christie, and I told Danny that on the day. I said, "You won that fight, and if I'd have been there, I'd have made them keep that fight going." I'd have said, "No, keep going. Do you want to fight? If you want to fight, I'd have made them keep going." And Danny would have won that fight outright because Decker was complete. One more punch, 2 punches, Decker would have been on his knees. He's fucked. Don't get me wrong, he can fight. There's no taking it off him. He can fight. There's no doubt about it. He can fight, but it's nothing to do with the fighting, is it? It's what he's done. So if he asked me for a fight 1-on-1, I'd fucking destroy him, but I wouldn't have a fight in the ring with him. I'd do it in the street, and I'd bite lumps out the cut, and I'd take his ears off, and I'd spit it down the fucking drain, and make sure he never got them back. I'd make him look like a monster, so he'd never get another woman again. Take his fucking nose off his eye, or everything. I would fucking pulverize him. He just looks like a horrible, when he looks in the mirror at himself, he just looks like a fucking monster, because he is a monster, and that way nobody would want to go out with the cunt. I'd make a real bad mess of him. But saying that, you probably get fucking AIDS off the cunt biting him. But he's a fucking horrible cunt. So I wouldn't want to give money to something like that. I know I'm not being disrespectful that anyone's fighting him, or Rob, you fought me the other way, but really you're giving them credence by giving them the fights, and you're giving them money to a paedophile. So I'd have said there, if I'd have been about in my day, I'd have went down and said to Robbie, the lad, I said, "How much are you getting for this, Robbie?" And I said, "Well, there's $1,000 there." I'd have given the money not to fight him. So he never got no fucking money, Decker. That's what I'd have done. I would have given him fuck all. I said, "Well, what's the most you'll make out of this?" I'd have given him £1,000 to not fight him. So he keeps the money, and I think, obviously, he destroyed him. So if a lad that weight can beat him, what's a big lad going to do? Who can fight? Because he could get out of a line. Robbie there, he was great. But if he was about 3 or 4 stone heavy, he'd have knocked him out. Autistic man, I just noticed you there, mate. Hope yeah, well, bro. Yeah, I'm good. Love you a bit, the autistic man. Freedom, a proper bad cold, but going now, mate. Yeah, fucking nightmare. I'm cold, mate. The best thing you do when I'm cold is stay in. You go out. My throat's a bit bad. You go out and you get fucking worse. Honestly, you get worse the fucking night. I've been in sun, my face is bright red, and you can see. But this camera's shite on here. I'm gonna have to get him. I look like I'm fucking the blotchy kid. Yeah, but yeah, the Beast was going to beat Danny and had, in my opinion. Danny, DG, who's Danny? Yeah. I just think he's a fucking rat. No matter what, even if he's the greatest fighter in the world, he's still a fucking piece of shit when he's done to women and kids. And the great thing was, he tried to say that we were bullying Mandy Jameson. Now, Emma lived there. She used to go out with his cousin for 6 years. She lived in Liverpool. And when Mandy Jameson cousin out, all the people, bit like the other night, with all the people in the fucking world, he picked to do a documentary with. She came on, Mandy Jameson went, Emma, my sister. I love her. So how could we be bullying Mandy Jameson? And then when you went, and Brian, you're a lovely lad, can't wait to give you a cuddle. You're great what you're doing with people, helping kids with knives, because there's someone killed and a knife stabbed to death. And that scumbag was using her. And he said, Cockerill never threatened her. No, she came on, she said, Brian Cockerill hasn't threatened me or Emma Cockerill. I've seen your record, and I can't divulge. She's not one of these gobshites. Emma said she can fight and all that, but tough people behind the family and that. And she said, I've seen your record. I've been to the police station. They've told me exactly what you are. You're not allowed around children, and you're not allowed around women. You came into my fucking home with my children there, and you knew you weren't allowed me around children. So I can't say much more. When she said that was enough for me, because that was an honourable lady speaking, and it was Emma's friend. So it was like they were like sisters. She said, me and Emma were best of friends for like 6 years. She's like a sister to me. She's family, and no one can bully me. Emma, she said, Emma, there's no one bullying me whatsoever. She said, and you and me, I'm a fucking big mouth. She said, but I can stand up for myself. I can have a go. She said, but this is just all bullshit. No one threatened us. And she said, I'm not doing it with you. Because the bride is saying it and Emma's saying it, I believe them too. And that's why they pulled out the documentary. And rightly so. Why the fuck should they give that lady, who was like family to us now? Another great thing when God comes in, for Mandy Jameson was Emma's friend years and years before. But like I said, like Marty Turner's son, come on. proves it wrong. That's Jesus, and outside that, the Lord Jesus Christ, he works in mysterious ways. So he's out of this fucking scumbag now. He's finished now, completely gone. Books, everything. Rob Brenton, I think, fucked him off as well. Like, all the other bookkeepers that have nothing to do with him. He's got no. The channel's fucked. His fucking place where he worked with, it's all gone. Everything's gone. And all the money he was making something like 2 and 3 grand a month. It wasn't enough. He wanted more and more and more. The greed, but it's like the crack game when you're in it. Myself, I'm not gonna lie. You get 5 grand, you can spend it in a fucking week because you have a go, one another go. You've got fair weather friends. Well, I'll have a night in with you, and you're out with them, and he'll come. And when your money's gone, the fuck off. And that's what happens. And he's been showing off. Probably he's always got 3 or 4 young lads with him. I think he's got a safe house in. They've given him a safe house in Newcastle because he's compromised it, which means he's blew his cover about giving him a new house, or he's travelling down from Newcastle to there to go to work. It's about, I think it's 30 miles from here, from where I live, 26 miles, something like that. So he'd probably get the train down there and work. But that's what he does. He has worked, but they've all been like jobs where on the bins, which is nothing right, working on the bins, but he got caught again. He was selling cannabis and he put it in the wrong fucking bin. And when you do these old, like fucking Coronation Street, I'll bust your ball. And like Norris, he came out to clean his bin out. One of these people wash your bin out every week. I don't fucking wash my bin every week. He comes out and washing it with a jet wash and throwing a bag in it. It was cannabis and it was him. It was him selling it. So they got the police involved and he got done. Got sacked. He got the sack for spreading of the bins. Fucking hell. And everything I'm telling you is the truth. Emma Carroll, Rock High. Quaver Tommy, he started off a busker in Liverpool and then ended up in Glasgow 1 year, and now he's in a working class rock dinner. Does a lot for Liverpool football songs. It's good that. Anyone who's doing things like Manioc's like that, Manioc's fucking brilliant. Manioc sang 2 songs about me. The Tax Man, kick down his last door. It's good. The song, I'll have to get him to come on and do it. Matthew Smith. Hope you're okay. Yes, I am, Matthew. Thank you, Rock. Okay, Freedom. Watching the boxing. Not at the moment. Johnny Jum. Hey, Johnny son. Love Johnny Jum. He's a great kid. He's just very pleasant and to talk to and very quiet, and he's really, really clever. He's not daft. And so is our other friend who's on there. Our other lad from Liverpool. Another friend of Irish Bull. Where's Irish Bull gone? What's he gone lately? Freedom. Can someone change that? But buy on the coffee, please. Yeah, I think what it is, you have to, instead of buy the coffee, I think you've got something else. She's got like a PayPal or something. Fucking night, they haven't paid us for over 3 months. All the money what people have been sending in, like coffees and all that, all them fivers and that, we haven't been paid. It's 3 months coming up next month. It's over 2 months now. Oh, what's happened is this, and they always fucking come out with shite, don't they? The fucking mortgage has got up again. It's fucking £950 a month. It was £350 at the beginning of the year. It took the £950. I told you this the other day, didn't I? There's going to be chaos on the fucking streets. No one's going to have nowhere to live. They're going to get evicted. They're going to think, fuck you, I'm going to break back in. They'll break back in. They'll fight with the police. And they're going to be fucking petrol bombs getting through. There's going to be fucking riots on the streets. Machetes will be coming out. Fucking guns will be coming out. And what's happened? I told you what's happened in France. It's kicked off the fuck. People are sick to death of the bullying of the authorities. The authorities are fucking horrible. They're not interested in us. It's always them and us. The people on council estates have got fuck all, always get hammered. And the rich keep getting more money. And the wages keep going. The wages aren't going. The wages went up by 1.1%. But the fucking food's gone up by 200% some places. You're getting food. It's doubled in price. How can it double in price? The wages have gone up 1.1%. Or some wages have gone up 10%. So how can the food go up 95 to 100%? And the wages only go up 10%. Tell me that, please, someone. Tell me fucking I'm a genius with numbers. Tell me how the food can double, the mortgages could quadruple, but your wages don't go up. So how the fuck can you pay for something if you haven't got the money? You're fucking stupid. Fucking government. Absolutely fucking stupid. So you're causing chaos. There's going to be riots all over like it was in London years ago. It's going to go fucking mental what you do to people. So people can't feed the kids, they'll go out and they'll steal. People can't feed their kids, they'll go out and rob. So you've got to make it. You're building a rod for your back. You're making it worse than it's ever going to be. The infrastructure, everything's a fucking mess. What you've done, the fuel's going up and it's not coming down. Everything's going up, but no wages are going up. If they do go up, you might put them up like 1.1. I think it was 1.1% for the care workers. Mine went up something like £8. My fucking wages in a year, £8. £8 in a year it went up. But the mortgage has gone up from the 350 to 900. I think it's 950 something or 960. And it's gone up again. It's gone up nine times or 10 times in 10 months. Now, if you did that in a shop, you'd get charged for the what do they call them? What the fuck do they call them? Trading standards. So they charge you. Trading standards would come in. The Inland Revenue would come into you, arrested, blah blah blah. You've done this. You can't put your things up that much. You're not allowed to do it, but yous can. Government. How the fuck are you letting the bank? How's the bank keep going up and up? How can it go up all these months in a row and no one's getting any wages higher? So all you're doing now is causing chaos with people, making people hate you more, and you're making people mentally ill. People get mentally ill to do mental things. And that's what's going to happen. There's going to be more fucking shootings and terrorist stuff and everything going off because what you all are doing. I'll probably get banned again now. Fuck them. Right, I'm going to go. I've been on for 3 hours. That's the longest one I've done. I love you all. And I'll probably have a rest tomorrow. I think I'll have a day off tomorrow when I'm sitting with the wife. Besides fucking killing, I've got no meds out, so I'll be back on Monday, guys. Love you all. Have a great night. Don't forget to think positive, be positive. Think negative, you be negative. Get up in the morning, be happy. Go and take your kids out for the day, go to the park or something. Have a nice day out, make a packed lunch or something, just go to the beach or something. I'll go to the picnic, something like that, and have a nice day out with the kids. You don't have to sit in the house being depressed. You don't have to sit in the house worried about this and worried about that. Just fucking get out and just enjoy yourself. Always, Johnny Jump always impacts the poor men and the poor women and the poor children and the poor dogs and the cats and all the fucking stuff. It's always about the rich get richer and the poor get poorer every single time. Yeah, right, I'm off. That's that one done. Yeah, I'm good night. Oh, lost connection. It's gone there.